ABC Sports proudly presents Game 2 in our exclusive coverage of the Bowl Championship Series.
In the state of Florida, football is king. For decades, a battle has raged between Florida State and Miami to decide which university would claim pigskin supremacy. Their rivalry has produced some of college football's most memorable finishes.
It's up, missed it to the right for the win. He missed it, wide left.
Recently, the victory pendulum has swung back to the side of the Canes, who've taken 4 straight from the Noles, including a victory earlier this season. Tonight marks the final meeting between these football superpowers before they become ACC conference mates. What better place for the two to meet on the biggest stage the state of Florida has to offer? For pride, for honor, for the first time in a bowl game, the FedEx Orange Bowl. Some have come from North Florida, some have been here in Dade County all along. Some have partied since last night. Some are crazy fans, some are just crazed that they have one more chance to play an in-state rival. The 70th FedEx Orange Bowl. 2 teams from in-state. And our matchup, the Big East champions from Miami, the champions of the ACC from Florida State. And here come the Seminoles. Bobby Bowden has won 18 games for these guys in the garnet and gold, going for number 19 tonight in a familiar location. And we welcome you, everybody, to Pro Players Stadium. Hi, I'm Brad Nessler. Happy New Year, everyone, from Miami. This is a matchup that neither of these coaches expected, to be quite honest with you. They played in the regular season October 11th. Miami won that one 22-14, their 4th straight victory over the Seminoles in this series that is now 47 games old. Florida State dominated in the 90s, but it's been all Miami as of late. What the Florida State seniors love about this matchup is it gives them one more crack at their rivals from Miami. So that's the opportunity they have tonight. And these two clubs will meet again on Labor Day Monday night on ABC Sports. So they're going to play 3 games against one another in the span of 11 months. Miami's the first school to play in every BCS Bowl. And here come the Canes. It's been a busy day for John, Terry, and Craig in Pasadena. We're heading back out there. Then we'll kick it off in Florida. Fellas. Back at Pro Players Stadium, we get set for the Seminoles and the Hurricanes for the second time this year. We were there for the first one, October 11th. Welcome back, everybody. My partner, Bob Greasy, has joined me, and both of us want to send our congratulations to the team that's going to share the national championship, Pete Carroll and the Trojans of USC. These two teams know about BCS title games. They've both been in it pretty much every year until now.
They have. They've been in the last first five BCS games. And, they've won 7 championships in the last 20 years, so they've been pretty good.
Both these clubs look at this year as a disappointment. 10 wins for both, though. Miami has played in the national championship the last 2 years. Still, they got some great players we're going to see out there.
They got some dominant players. And Kellen Winslow, when you talk about tight ends, he is the epitome of a top tight end. All-American, leads his team in receptions. But the last 3 games, Miami has gone conservative offensively. He's only caught 4 passes, but he can dominate a game. He's been doing it the last few weeks with his blocking, run blocking.
He won the Mackey Award. It might be the last time you see him in a Canes uniform. Same could be said for maybe the best defensive player on the field, and that's Sean Taylor.
Sean Taylor dominated this game when they played up in Tallahassee. 2 interceptions. He returned 1 for a touchdown at 6'3" and 230. He's bigger than the linebackers, faster than the defensive backs, and Bowden said, if there's one guy on that team I'd like to get rid of, it's Sean Taylor.
Well, one thing that the Florida State players would like to get rid of is the taste in their mouth the last 4 years from losing these ball games, and their seniors get another crack at it tonight.
They got a lot of seniors. It's a veteran defense, especially Michael Boulware, captain, leader of this ball club. He has never beaten the Hurricanes. 39 starts. He's never beaten the Miami Hurricanes. This is his last game for FSU and his last chance at Miami.
Chris Ricks will get at least 1 more crack next year, maybe 2, maybe 3. You never know, but he's got to play well tonight if they're going to have a chance.
Well, the way this offense is set up, the quarterback is a playmaker. They have to throw the ball and throw it well downfield. He has played great the last 2 ball games. He has 6 touchdowns and 1 interception. He is playing very well. He's in a groove at this point.
I said to him before the game, I said, maybe this is your night against these guys. He had a big smile on his face like he's ready. Another couple guys that are smiling wide tonight become pretty good friends this week. Hadn't known each other that well. They're down in the field with the third man on our team, Lynn Swann. Swanee.
Hey, coaches, how you doing?
Fine. How's it going?
Listen, a couple of questions real quick we just want to ask you.
Yeah.
Most people think all the head coaches know each other and spend a lot of time. You probably spent more time with each other this week than you've ever done before. What'd you learn about Larry, Coach, you didn't know before?
Well, he's what you think he is. What you see is what you get. I've known Larry a very little bit, but this week I've been able to spend a whole lot of time with him, and I tell you, he's a great guy.
Larry, about Bowden?
Well, I think what I learned about Coach Bowden is he's got a lot of coaching left in him. A lot of coaching left in him, believe me.
And you're going to try and catch him too, aren't you?
Well, I don't know if I have that much in me, but I think Coach Bowden has a
He's
lot.
catching fast. He's catching fast.
A lot of talent, a lot of big picture issues in this game tonight. But if you could take one player off your opponent's team, Coach Bowden, who would that be?
Well, I tell you, he's got quite a few, but defensively it would be number 26. Offensively, number 81, you know.
Okay, Coach?
I'll tell you, I have to let Darnell Dockett's such a great player. You have to take Darnell Dockett. And I think his quarterback, I think Chris Ricks is playing awfully well right now also.
Well, boys, they got a lot of good choices, but I have a feeling both these coaches really do believe in their defenses as much as their offense. So watch the defense be the key to this ball game. Guys?
We are going to watch that, and we'll look at the weather. 73 degrees, the humidity likewise. A slight wind out of the east. We had a brief shower earlier. It's gone away. The 47th meeting between the Canes and the Seminoles. Florida State won the toss, deferred Miami to receive. That's Xavier Betia's got it teed up. And you saw back deep Devin Hester and Darnell Jenkins. Here we go. 70th FedEx Orange Bowl underway. And the kick at the 4 to Devin Hester, who took one coast to coast earlier this year. The freshman gets out across the 25 to the 26-yard line. And that's where Brock Berlin and the Hurricanes offense will go to work. Brock Berlin's had some high moments and some low moments. He talked with us this week about those, but there's the numbers: 189 passing yards a ball game, but more interceptions than touchdowns.
Yeah, this is not good right here. 5th worst in the nation. You know, he's a little down spot. He's not having a good month and a half. They're trying to protect him, ease him in the ball game. They want to tell him, don't have to win the ball game by yourself. They want to run the ball first and get some running game with him.
They'll start from the 26. And he's going to throw on first down. Looking for a screen. Had to pump once and now goes back the other way. Got a block. And Berlin takes off on his own. And Brock gets about 8 before he's run out of bounds by Kendall Pope.
Let me get you warmed up into the ball game.
You got that right. Here's our FedEx starting lineups. Eric Winston, voted by his teammates as the offensive lineman of the year with Carey, Myers, McGrath, and Carlos Joseph. Jared Payton starts, making his final appearance in a Hurricane uniform. Quad Hill, the fullback we talked about, Kellen Winslow, and Ryan Moore and Kevin Beard are the starting wide receivers. And there's Winslow, number 81, who Bobby Bowden said to Swanee, if I could get rid of a guy that they couldn't have on offense, that'd be the guy he'd like to pluck out of there.
Number 81.
Right.
He's been moving around a little bit the last few ball games. They'll put him back off the line of scrimmage. Tight end moving one way, and then he'll come back blocking. He's been a very good blocker.
They've got a bunch of 3 on the right side, and now Everett, the second tight end, comes over and bunches it on the left.
There he is right there.
Second down, a long 1. Payton hitting the backfield and dropped at the 30-yard line for a loss of 4 by a defense led up front by this front 4. Kevin Emanuel, Darnell Dockett, the senior, and Womble likewise playing his last game for the Noles. Eric Moore healthy and back there starting at defensive end. The linebackers, a great group. Augustin inside, flanked by Pope and Boulware. And in the secondary, Stanford Samuels and Rufus Brown on the corners. Watkins starting in there for B.J. Ward tonight. Jerome Carter is the rover. And there's Augustin, who is quite a story in his own right.
There's a walk-on from right here at Miami Senior High School. Came in between the 2 high school parade All-American linebackers, Boulware and Pope. Says, I want to see if I can make this ball club and start in between them. And he has.
Kendall Pope says he carried me through my first year. I didn't know what I was doing. Berlin out of the shotgun on 3rd down and 5 in the opening minute of the ball game. Here comes the blitz. Brock flares it out, got it out to Jason Geathers. Geathers out to the 41-yard line, first down. So on 3rd and 5, he gathers it in for 10.
Positive play, good start for Miami, good start for Berlin. Jason Geathers used to be a wide receiver, was forced back to the running back position. He played that some in high school. He's a very good receiver, obviously.
I think he's going to be a heck of a pro player, even though he's really not a starter in this group because he's so versatile.
He can do a lot of things.
Payton back in there. They show a full house backfield, and now Winslow comes off of that. First down, Canes, their own 41. Play action for Berlin. Wants it all. Going long, far sideline, incomplete. Good coverage back there. Roscoe Parrish was the intended receiver. B.J. Ward, who didn't start and came right in after the first couple of plays, was the guy that was covering.
Roscoe Parrish is probably their fastest player and their smallest. He's 5'9", about 175 pounds. And that's good breaking the mold, because the Hurricane offense, Rod Chudzinski, the offensive coordinator, knows that he's been running the ball a lot. So throw it deep, get him off, get him back, playing off the line of scrimmage.
Second down at 10 for the Canes on their own 41. A run blitz and the toss sweep by Payton, and Jarrett Payton breaking tackles into the open field. Payton inside the 30 and down to the 22-yard line. Big run by Jarrett Payton, 37 yards. Well, he hoped to hit the 1,000-yard mark if he had a big game tonight. He's got a big gain here, Bob.
It's just going to be a toss around the left side. Little toss there. Now look at the hole that's right there. Look at this gaping hole. Now can he get back into it? Yes, he can. Breaks a tackle. Breaks 2 tackles. That's just good running.
First down at the 22 of Florida State. And Berlin to throw. Brock fire into the end zone. Incomplete. Yeah. Kellen Winslow out there.
I like the play calling. Miami the last 3 games has been run, run, run. Depend on it. Now the first drive, they're opening it up a little bit. Brock Berlin's throwing a little bit. I think he's got his feet under him a little bit, even though this is the first series of the game.
I like what you said this morning when we all got together. You said something about Brock Berlin. Until he throws an interception, he doesn't play very well.
I've watched a lot of the games and a lot of tape, and it just seems like early in a ball game he might throw an interception, and then he seems to relax and play better, looser.
Second down at 10. Payton back in there, flanking Berlin in the shotgun. 7th play of the opening Hurricane drive. And Payton on the quick opening draw. Garrett gets inside the 20, down to about the 19 as Michael Boulware, the permanent captain for the Seminoles, voted by his teammates. He was a captain all year, and the permanent captains were named last week, and he's one of them.
He was talking about earlier, he said, you know, he had some second thoughts. He was a wide receiver. Now, you know, you don't see many wide receiver linebacker combinations.
No.
But he was talking about maybe, you know, if he would have played wide receiver, his name would be out there a little bit more. He's going into the NFL draft not next year, in a couple months.
Third down and 7. Again from the shotgun is Berlin. Here comes a blitz. Berlin flares it out. Gathers hit, and down he goes at about the 15-yard line. He's short of the first down.
They're trying to get Geathers the back on one of the safeties, and that time it was Carter, number 23. That time Carter didn't make a great tackle, but stopped him short of the first down.
So that'll bring out John Petty, who had a sensational season. The freshman first team All Big East. 19 out of 24 on his field goals so far this year. This will be a 32-yarder to try to put Miami in front early, and he's got it up and good. 11 minutes and 32 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Miami, a good-looking drive. The majority of that drive came on Jarrett Payton's run as he got him down in scoring territory. Petty tacked in 3. It's the Canes by a field goal. Our Pontiac high-performance scoring drive, 59 yards in 9 plays. Petty's field goal is the one that ended it, but the big run was by that guy, Jarrett Payton, 37-yarder, that set it up. Well, Miami, you go back the last 20 years, partner, and when they do this, that is score first. They don't lose much.
And that was a good drive for Miami, whose offense has been struggling the last 3 games. That was a very good drive to start an Orange Bowl game.
That's Antonio Cromartie, and Mark Gent's got it teed up to kick away. High and short on the kick. Taken at the 13 by Cromartie. Cromartie weaves his way out. Nice return out across the 30. Close to the 32. And that'll bring out Chris Ricks and the Florida State offense. Chris, who had pretty good numbers again this year, 22 touchdowns, 58% completion, and this is his 34th start.
And is a 3-year starter. I mean, most of the other Florida State quarterbacks did not have to start until their junior year. Chris Ricks had to start his redshirt freshman year. So he's made all of his mistakes on the playing field, not the practice field.
He's got Greg Jones as his tailback in the eye. He's going to throw on first down. Throws it out, completes. PK Sam has become the big play receiver. As we take a look at our FedEx starting lineups offensively, here's the big eaters up front for the Noles. Henderson, Meinrad, Castillo in there with those bad wheels. Bobby Meeks and Ray Willis across the front wall. Jones at tailback. And Coleman to start tonight at fullback. Irons the tight end. They don't use the tight end much. Dominique Robinson and PK Sam the wide receivers.
Don't use the tight end or the fullback much. It's a tailback offense to run the ball and throw it to the wide receivers.
Which they did for the first down on the first play. So it's first down, Noles at the 42-yard line. 3 wideouts for Chris Ricks. Chris is going to throw again, coming the same way. Just about the same pattern, different guy though. Chauncey Stovall has the catch, and he is already into Miami territory against the Canes defense that looks like this. Atkins and Carroll on the outside, Wilfork and Orrin Harris inside. Wilfork, who knows, maybe it's his last game too, though he's only a junior. Linebacking core, great one. McClover coming on like crazy. Vilma's their leader. DJ Williams with a lot of speed on the other outside spot. Antrell Roll and Alfonso Marshall are the corners. Sean Taylor and Mo Sykes the safeties, and Taylor might be, in my opinion, the best defensive player in the country.
This defense is ranked 3rd in the nation behind the 2 teams that will be playing in the championship game.
Jones hit behind the line of scrimmage by Vilma, fell forward close to the first down. John Vilma, the middle linebacker, the leading tackler. That's 119 on the season with the first hit on that one. And he is not only a great linebacker, a great student as well.
He is a nice guy, an intelligent guy, academic All-American. He is a middle linebacker, and he weighs 10 pounds less than Sean Taylor, who is the free safety.
They didn't get the first down, so it's 3rd and 1. 2 tight ends for Florida State. Let's see if Greg Jones can power forward. It'll be Chris Ricks trying it himself. I think he got it, but it's awfully close. Dick Honig is our referee tonight. Officials from the Big Ten. And Dave Perry, the head of the Big Ten officials, is in the booth with us. Nice to have Dave along with us tonight. Well, Chris Ricks, 1 rush, 1 lost helmet.
Dave always makes these southern trips around this time of
year.
year.
You notice how he does it.
He never goes to those northern bowls.
That's why he's head of the officials.
That's true.
I don't know why he always wears a striped shirt when he comes to see us.
That's not true. It's a striped jacket.
That is. And they're going to bring out the sticks. The public address announcer said it's a Seminole first down, and they haven't brought the chain gang out yet, so he's jumping the gun a little bit. We think he got it, but we'll take a look here. And he did by the whole length of a football. So Florida State already in Miami territory at the 48-yard line. Bobby Bowden, 342 wins, the winningest coach in Division 1A history. 38th year. He's only 12-18 though against Miami. He said to us again at the luncheon yesterday, said they're going to have it on my gravestone. He had to play Miami all the time.
But he played Miami.
Yeah, he did play Miami every year. Now it's maybe going to be twice a year, maybe more. Who knows? First down, Ricks under some pressure. Chris goes out and throws long. Took a big hit and threw it to Sean Taylor. Interception, Miami. He knows he shouldn't do that, and he did it anyway.
Tried to do too much.
Much like the first game back in October, Sean Taylor on the receiving end.
There's Vilma. He throws out. Now that's good. Now don't make a mistake. Get rid of it early. Don't take that punishment and don't throw it up in the air.
And Sean Taylor down on the other end, his 10th interception of the season and his 3rd just against the Seminoles. We told you he was a good one. He shows you why right there. Most in the nation now with that 10th pick of the year.
On the other side, Chris Ricks did everything right until he threw the ball up for grabs. He held it too long. Just throw it out of bounds. Sometime you got to give up on the play and say, Coach, I'm sorry, I'm doing this and I'm throwing it away.
Peyton on the first down, they fumble. Florida State was right there, but Miami got it back. And now we got some fists flying and so are flags.
Womble, number 91, tried to pick it up and run it in.
So again, penalty markers.
Miami. We have personal foul, Miami. Personal foul, Florida State. Those ones offset. 2nd down.
Here's another look.
That's a great hit right there.
And there you see the swinging going on. And you can't do that, even out of frustration. At the 6-yard line now, just 2nd down and 13, so no harm on the fumble.
Florida State has 8 guys up within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage.
Peyton will try it again. This time holds on to it, follows his blockers, and goes all the way out to the 17-yard line. So Marty made the tackle. Jared Payton off to a great start in this ball game.
That's good blocking by that offensive line.
And Winslow
looks like
going out.
Watch this line. They're all going to block to the left. Watch them all go left side. And watch the hole that's created. See this hole back here? That's the one he wants to get back to. All the other guys overran it. That's good blocking.
Peyton 44 yards on just 5 carries so far. 3rd down and 2. He's out of there right now. Berlin in the gun. Brock to throw. Flares it out here in the flat. And I don't think it'll be a 1st down to Ryan Moore. He made the catch. Well, maybe they did give him a good spot. It's right there. I don't think he got it. I think he's a couple feet short.
Well, the receivers should go past the line and then come back to the ball. Now, of course, the defensive backs, I don't think he got it.
Nope.
The defensive backs are smart enough. They know how far you need to go. That's why sometimes it's good to do a little hook and go or a little out and up, because the defensive backs are playing the short routes as well.
And I'm sure they'll let Ryan know that when he gets to the sideline as we look behind Brian Monroe, the freshman punter. Now they are going to bring out the sticks.
Bob and Brad, they're bringing out the sticks now, but I will tell you, the defensive backs did a phenomenal job. They were all over the receiver. As soon as he caught the ball, he had no chance of moving forward. If they got it, it's only by an inch, and they missed it by about 6.
So it is punting time. Larry Coker's team had an opportunity with the interception, but then the fumble on their 1st down kind of set them in an even more precarious spot. Now in 4th and inches, they'll have to punt. Leon Washington will be the guy on the other end. You see him way down there.
Don Solinger, the special teams coach for the Hurricanes.
So Monroe will be kicking this inside his own 10. Florida State's always been a great kick blocking team.
Yeah, and if Hurricanes have had a problem this year, it's been with their punting.
B.J. Ward's a guy that stuffed a bunch of them in his career. You see that trio over there on the right-hand side of the screen. He gets the kick away, though.
Good kick.
Leon Washington waits on it and fumbled it, but he got it on one hop. Washington still dancing around. And he got about 7 yards on the return. That could have been a disaster, too. Darrell Weaver made the stop.
Little excitement.
Little excitement. They're mixing it up out there.
They are.
A 3-0 lead. Miami. 8:07 remaining 1st quarter.
The FedEx Orange Bowl. This ABC Sports exclusive presentation brought to you by Pontiac, the 350 horsepower rear-wheel drive Pontiac GTO. Fuel for the soul. FedEx, proud sponsor of the Bowl Championship Series. Taco Bell, where you can spice up the night. And Allstate. Are you in good hands?
Back at the FedEx Orange Bowl as the Seminoles will take over offensively and out their own 40-yard line. No harm done on that interception by Sean Taylor thrown by Chris Ricks. And I got to tell you, Bob, I think he's got a mouse under his left eye from that shot he took from John Vilma.
Well, look at this. Two things. First of all, protect yourself and throw it away sooner. The second thing is, in the NFL, that'd be a flag. In college football, they just let it go. I think that what the college officials have to do, and I was talking to Dave Perry about it, is protect more of their college quarterbacks. That'd been a foul in the NFL.
It had not only been a foul, it would have been a lot of money coming out of the pocket as well. Pickup of 11 by Leon Washington. Swanee?
Well, Bob and Brad, there was no harm, no foul on the Chris Ricks interception, but look at the last 3 ball games, Florida State, Miami. Miami has scored 99 points, but 39 of those points have come off Chris Ricks turnovers. If he can just eliminate the turnovers, this Florida State football team has a higher percentage chance of winning a football game.
And you saw what Bob did circling on the telestrator. There is a cut under the eye of Chris Ricks' eye. Almost positive it's from that hit from Vilma.
That'll probably get darker and darker as the game goes on, too.
You got that right. Here's a toss sweep. Leon Washington cuts it back across the 50 and to the 49-yard line. The hit show is back. 8 celebrity players will compete in extreme challenges. All but one is getting played. Celebrity Mole, Yucatan. 10 o'clock, 9 o'clock Central on ABC coming up on Wednesday. Be great to see Dennis Rodman back in action, won't it?
I don't know. Is he on that show?
He's on that show.
Is he?
And Lord knows he's been played enough. There's a flag on the field before the snap.
Illegal substitution on the offense. 5 yards. Still second down.
I can guarantee you, having talked to Chris Ricks before the ball game, that mark under his left eye wasn't there in the pregame. And as Bob said, might swell up a little bit, end up looking like our spotter Clint Deans, who's playing here after coming out of the emergency room last night.
A little ice hockey game.
A little skating accident. So nothing like having a spotter with one good eye.
You say that's a young man's game?
Yeah, somebody should tell him that. So the penalty backs it up to the 46-yard line for the Noles with a second down and 15. 3 wideouts. And now Chris Ricks changing things up. Gonna have to hurry. They'll keep it on the ground, and Washington's not going anywhere. DJ Williams. Hard to run against this group for a couple of reasons, mostly because they have so much speed, they just track you down.
Well, when you do run against Miami, though, you normally run right at them. Usually the defensive ends for Miami want to rush the passer, so they come upfield, so they run inside the ends, maybe draw plays, but the guy you have to get blocked is Vilma, the middle linebacker.
And that's if you can get through Will Fork to get to Vilma.
Exactly.
And there they are right there. And one's 345. You can tell which one that is. Third down at 14. Play action. Rick steps up, fires down the middle, incomplete. PK Sam, the intended receiver. Mo Sykes and Antrell Roll had him sandwiched.
Roll had the coverage on PK Sam. He was the nickelback in that time. 6 backs, and he had good coverage.
So Florida State had good field position, and they can't do anything with it. So they'll have to punt it away. With 5:48 remaining in the first quarter, 4th down. And Jesse Stein in to punt. He had 1 punt blocked this year. I'll give you a guess who blocked it. Well, Miami did. Roscoe Parrish is back deep. And they almost got to another one. And it's a dandy of a kick. High and deep. And fielded at the 14-yard line by Parrish. So Chris Ricks couldn't get the offense of the Seminoles going there. But as Bob said, he's got to watch out for his own well-being tonight. You can't take shots like this. 3-0 Canes.
You're watching ABC's coverage of the FedEx Orange Bowl.
As we take a look back at October 11th, we were there in a driving rainstorm. Brock Berlin to Jarrett Payton, a 14-yard touchdown pass, put Miami up 12-0. Then Chris Ricks lofted one out there. Sean Taylor intercepted it. Florida State had 6 turnovers in the game. The second one Sean got his hands on. He took 50 yards back for a touchdown to put Miami up 19-0. They went on to win 22-14. And here it's 3-0. The Canes out in front on a John Petty 32-yard field goal in the 70th FedEx Orange Bowl. We welcome you back. Brad Nessler, Bob Greasy, Lynn Swan, and our ABC crew with you. We wish you a happy new year. We know you've had a big day of football. We're just kind of getting going here. Berlin to throw. Got it out, complete to Kellen Winslow. And Kellen is going to have a first down.
Winslow was lined up wide that time. Had 2 tight ends, but Kellen was lined up wide out on McFadden, the cornerback.
Kellen, the leading receiver on this Miami team. That is his 56th catch of the year. And it has him a first down for the Canes out across the 25-yard line. That's where they'll go to work. And again, now Winslow comes out in the slot on the left side. There he is. Berlin. Plenty of time. Brock throwing for Winslow and incomplete. Augustin was in front of him and Jerome Carter behind him. The pass was nowhere near him. Winslow went over 100 yards receiving in that regular season matchup that we talked about. He had 106 yards on 7 catches. And Jarrett Payton almost had 100 yards on the ground in that game. Most tight end receptions in a career, 115. And he's coming in off the sensational career that Jeremy Shockey had before he went on to the NFL.
And then Bubba Franks before that at Miami.
Not bad, huh? Here's Payton out to about the 28. Stanford Samuels made the stop. Jarrett got a couple.
Stanford Samuels is one Seminole that has beaten Miami. He's been around for 6 years. So he has been in on a win versus the Hurricanes.
And you mentioned he's a Miami native. He spent most of his time between his dad and his grandma's houses about 10 miles from here.
He went to Carroll City High School, which there's Carroll City football players on both these teams. Carroll City is not far from the stadium.
There's Miami on their 3rd downs on the season. 45% was best in the Big East. 3rd and 8. Berlin takes off with it. Oh, boy. You talk about quarterbacks that are taking a licking here so far in the first quarter. Ernie Sims, the freshman linebacker, they think he's going to be a great one.
Mickey Andrews, the defensive coordinator, likes some of these young defensive players. And Ernie Sims, 34, is one of them.
Brock had a big lane there, Bob, but it closed in a hurry.
It closed real quick, and you do not want to do that. Both these quarterbacks are young, you know. And they're not going to live to be old if they keep taking shots like these 2 guys have taken.
Monroe to punt again. Snaps a little wide, and he just got it away. And again, it's a good punt.
They got him.
And they hit him. The flag is down. The catch made by Leon Washington, but they got so close that they got to him, and they roughed him. And it's going to be a first down for the Canes. This is taking one for your team, too, as a punter.
You just pick and choose. You don't try to block a kick every time. You pick and choose your chances, and that's the time that the Seminoles were coming after him.
And this was no acting job. He got hit pretty good.
He had to reach for the ball.
Personal foul, roughing the kicker on the defense, 15 yards.
And it's the major penalty, as you hear from Dick Olnick. So it's not a running into, it's a 15-yarder and a first down. And now he's got a smile on his face.
Yeah, he said, how about that? I got us a first down. What was that, Sims? The freshman linebacker.
Yeah, he made the play before that,
right,
and then didn't make that play and cost his team possession of the football. So all the way out to the 48-yard line, we'll move the line of scrimmage. Brock Berlin hustling back into the huddle.
He's a freshman defensive linebacker, and it kind of reminds me of what Mickey Andrews says about those freshmen.
He says a lot of things. Which one?
He said he's a freshman. He said, yeah, you got to let them wet their pants sometime.
Well, he might have wet him a little bit too hard right there.
Let him get in there and play, get some experience.
Tyrone Moss now in the lineup, and he'll get his first touch and got right to the midfield stripe. As Bob mentioned, the The way that Miami approached their offense over the course of the last 3 weeks, really a lot of it was dictated by that kid.
Well, this is the guy that I think that Larry Coker hopes that he's really going to he's really come on the last 2 or 3 ball games. He is a true freshman. Didn't play a lot during the first 8 or 9 ball games, but he has really come on the last couple of weeks of the season.
So second down at midfield with 3:20 left in the quarter. Berlin from the shotgun pumps one way and throws a screen back the other way. Quad Hill, the fullback, puts his head down and got to the 40-yard line. They got 10 yards on the fullback screen. First down, Miami.
Miami has some good backs that catch the football. Geathers and Quad Hill, number 23, a fullback. Winston doing a nice job on Moore. Now just be patient. Let Vernon Carey get his block. Let the left tackle do. First down, Miami.
Quadrin picking up his 12th reception with that one. 11 on the regular season. And a first down at the 40. We're going to have a timeout taken. Brock Berlin calls a timeout. He'll head to the sideline. We'll take a break along with him. 2:54 remaining in the first quarter. Miami Hurricanes driving offensively and leading the FedEx Orange Bowl by a field goal. One of America's most recognized corporate images, the Goodyear Blimp, Stars and Stripes, providing our aerial views tonight. The Goodyear Blimps have been a familiar sight in the American sky since 1925, and tonight marking the 45th anniversary of a Goodyear Blimp covering the Orange Bowl for TV. Great to have them with us tonight to give us the great shots of the Canes and the Seminoles. At the 40-yard line, 7th play of the Hurricane drive, first down, and it's Moss, the tailback, and he carries Augustin for 5 yards, almost 6. So Moss, this is a guy Bob was talking about a couple of minutes ago. True freshman out of Pompano Beach, Florida. And sensational high school numbers. They were just phenomenal. Over 7,000 yards rushing. And he's a guy that's got 10.9 speed in the 100 meters as well.
Next year, Jared Payton, a 5th-year senior, graduates. Frank Gore, who had the surgery on his knee, should be back. So they'll have Gore and Moss. They've had some good running backs at the University of Miami the last 5, 6, 7 years.
I'd say. Play action for Brock Berlin. Wants it all. Going deep for Roscoe Parrish. Tipped and broken up. And intercepted. Picked off by Carter. Jerome Carter coming the other way. Touchback's got a convoy now. Oh, boy. That stopped in a minute, though. Big hit by Kellen Winslow.
Carter gets the tip and the interception.
I didn't think he was going to be able to get to the ball. Let's take another look.
Well, play action to hold the free safety. Tries to throw it over Carter. Just doesn't get it out far enough. Great play.
A tip drill to himself.
Yes. Now the offense has got to say, all right, let's gather ourselves, avoid being hit, and make a tackle. Great play. The old tip drill.
And the return all the way out to the 30.
Big play for the Seminoles to turn back that offensive series for Miami.
And then it was Lorenzo Booker who ran into Vince Wilfork and company. They flattened him. So Carter with the pick. We'll see now his second interception of the season, whether or not Florida State's offense can do something with it.
They're good picks and they're bad picks for quarterbacks. That wasn't a bad one because at least you were stretching the field, you were getting something done. You just needed to be a little bit longer with it. Bad picks are, well, you all seen bad picks.
Yeah, we have.
Well, you know.
Second and a long 9. Just across the 30-yard line. Chris Ricks again. Barking signals to his backs and wide receivers. Play action. Is he going to have time to throw? Loads it and fires long for Stovall. Got him. Down to the 18-yard line. That's more like what Chris Ricks had planned tonight.
Ricks saw the blitz. Check to a maximum protection pass. There's only 2 guys out. He's on the safety. Sykes had to come over to pick up the coverage, and he just runs right by him because the corner was on a corner blitz.
And after taking a shot in the eye earlier, says, there you go, fellas. That's 52 yards later.
Yeah, he doesn't feel like he is the youngster in this series anymore. He's been here 4 years, and he's played in this is his 4th game with these guys. So he feels like he's one of the veterans.
Inside the 20 now of Miami. Florida State threatening to tie it or take the lead. End around. This one to Chris Davis. And Davis gets down to the 13-yard line. Got about 5. DJ Williams.
Hey, Bob and Brad, an important issue in terms of running an offense is getting out of the huddle into the line of scrimmage quickly. When Florida State did that, Bob, it wasn't Ricks who saw it. It was one of the coaches on the sideline. They got set. The coach saw it and barked out an audible to Chris Ricks. The whole time he looked to his bench, he got the signal. But the important thing is they were lined up fast enough for him to get the new play called and take advantage of it.
He still had 7 or 8 seconds to work with.
That's a good point.
4 receivers now for Ricks from the 13-yard line. But he'll run a draw play inside. Down to the 9 is Booker. It'll be 3rd down and a couple. Or at least a long one, and that might be the final play.
But going back to that long pass, what Swanee was referring to, he saw, one of the coaches on the sideline saw that the corner was going to be on a corner blitz, and the safety had to come over and pick him up. So he shouted out to check to the deep pass to that side, and it worked.
We're going to switch ends. We played a quarter of the 70th FedEx Orange Bowl. It's 3-0 Miami. Our presentation of the FedEx Orange Bowl will continue after this message and a word from our ABC stations. 3-0 Canes. You're watching ABC Sports Championship Television.
You're watching ABC's coverage of the FedEx Orange Bowl.
Back at the 70th FedEx Orange Bowl, start of the 2nd quarter. With Bob Greasy and Lynn Swan, I'm Brad Nessler. It's 3-0 Miami. Florida State trying to change that with a 3rd down and a long one coming up. Miami had it almost 9 minutes. They have 104 yards. Florida State, by virtue of that long ball from Ricks to Stovall, have it down in scoring range right now.
All the Hurricanes are within 3 yards of the line of scrimmage.
3rd down and 2. Ricks in the gun.
They snapped it to the short guy.
Is he in? Touchdown. Lorenzo Booker.
We saw this in practice the other day, where the center just snaps it right to the up back, and it worked.
So Booker, the touchdown to put Florida State in front. Nine-yard touchdown, and the extra point. Bethia coming up. And it is good. First play of the 2nd quarter, Florida State takes the lead.
Miami's going to blitz. It's a snap directly to the back. The guard pulls, Meinrad pulls, everybody blocks down.
Boy, just got there.
And the direct snap is what really saves him a lot of time. He was almost hit by several people, guys, before he got to the end zone. But the time you save on the direct snap is what makes the difference in him getting to the end zone.
Here's Meinrad, number 64. Watch, he's going to pull. This direct snap went to the running back. Ricks just drops back. Everybody blocks down. It's a good call at a nice time. 3rd, 3 or 4 yards. I like the call at that situation. You have these little gimmicks. Jeff Bowden makes the call in the center, up in the booth. I think it's good that Jeff went upstairs, too. He went up there about midway through the season.
They got a lot more comfortable, they thought, at that point.
Yeah, Dickey, the quarterback coach, had been up there, and Jeff had been down below. I always think that the guy that's calling the play should be up in a booth, quiet, have a sip of water.
There, Bobby's taking a sip of water.
Where you're nice and calm and collected. Nobody's running, yelling in your ear.
70-yard drive capped off with a touchdown. Here's Bethia's kick. They'll bring it out from 2 yards deep. And Hester met before he got to the 20. The NFL playoffs kick off with Wild Card Saturday on ABC. First, Baltimore's won 5 straight against Tennessee. They'll take on the Titans Then in prime time, Bill Parcells and the Cowboys will take on the NFC South champion Panthers. NFL Wildcard Saturday. Coverage starts at 4 Eastern, 1 Pacific. That follows the Sixers-Spurs NBA game Saturday on ABC. And a couple of guys playing in that ball game that are very familiar with this series. We'll talk about that in a moment. Miami has not had the best field position so far in the ball game. They'll work from their own 20-yard line in this one. Tyrone Moss is a tailback behind Brock Berlin. And he'll get the call and hit immediately. Might have lost a yard. In fact, we talk about Ray Lewis and Peter Boulware, former members of this rivalry, and they'll be part of that wild card Saturday that we were talking about, and they talked with us about the matchup of these two teams tonight.
You know, me and Peter was sitting in the meetings, and he didn't speak to me as much when he saw that coming up again. No, but it's just one of those rivalries, man, that you can always look back on in the future and say, wow, you know, those guys really got after each other, and it's just exciting.
I'm a very humble man right now. I mean, I had to wear a Miami jersey for a week, so I really can't say anything, and hopefully I'm going to try to play it quiet, and hopefully they won't say anything to me this week.
Yeah, that hurts when you got to wear that opponent's jersey to practice every day.
Yeah.
Moss, no gain on that one either.
Sometimes it's a cap, sometimes it's a jersey.
Sometimes there's a little side bet too.
Yeah, sometimes a little dinero in there.
And there's Peter Boulware's little brother, Michael. And injured.
That's Cobia.
That's Cobia, the fullback. He was a little banged up before this game. Quadrant Hill's the guy that started. Kyle Jr. out of Lakeland, Florida, and holding the back of his left leg. And you see him working a little bit on the knee there. 235-pound junior trying to lead the way for Tyrone Moss on that last carry. So Miami's lead has been taken over by Florida State, courtesy of that 70-yard march by the Seminoles. As Kyle gets up, we'll remind you that the wild card Saturday we talked about starts with a great showdown in the NBA. Two-time league MVP Tim Duncan and the world champion Spurs against the Philadelphia 76ers. Doc Rivers and I'll be the guys that'll bring you the action. Tim Duncan, not a bad year again, leading the NBA in double-doubles with 26. And a few weeks ago, everybody said, what's wrong with the Spurs? They haven't lost since. Somebody said that. Miami's third down conversions a humble 1 for 4 so far tonight. And they're going to have to earn this one. It's third down and 10.
They came in to this ball game with the best third down conversion rate in the conference.
At 45%, they're not getting it so far tonight. Berlin from the gun. Brock throws it down the middle, and it is a first down catch, and it's Kellen Winslow, and Kellen hit and his helmet came off. Has his second catch of the night.
Watch Kellen as he's going to go downfield. He's not going to do anything. He's looking around. He's going to see where the defense is. He sees his zone. He just turns around. He could have broke inside or could have broke outside, but they were Seminoles both places. So he said, hey, I'm open. I'm just turning right around.
There's a good look at the John Mackey Award winner as the nation's top tight end. At the 31, first down. The toss to Moss. And he is hit big time. A.J. Nicholson, another one of the young linebackers. You're talking about Mickey Andrews and using a lot of different guys, and he's got a different combination there right now.
He always plays a lot of players, and one of Mickey's is very quotable. Mickey Andrews says, I'm working on next year's defense this year, meaning he's playing a lot of the backups. And he's going to lose 8 of these guys, 8 of these starters from this year's team. But you'll ask him about that and say, yeah, but we've been playing a lot of guys behind him. So they'll get some playing time. They'll be ready to play next year.
Here's a draw play. That goes nowhere. Moss again. Met by Jose and Augustin. And it's going to bring up a third down and long again.
Well, that defensive line is beating the offensive line of Miami. The Florida State defensive line. It's a veteran group with anchored by Daryl Dockett. 4-year starter with Womble in there right next to him. That's Davis, and Wimberly's been in some.
There's Darnell coming out right now on this passing situation. Brock Berlin back in the shotgun. He picked up 11 on the last 3rd and 10 on the throw down the middle to Winslow. This time going a deep out, and he overshot Winslow as intended receiver.
Bob, Brad, I think there was a little confusion on that play. He was going down the field on Sanford Samuels, number 10. Sanford's the smallest guy. Reminds you of Darrell Green a little bit. And he just forced Winslow a little bit shallow and to the outside when the ball went over the top of his head. So I'm not quite sure if we don't give credit to Samuels for just disrupting that play.
Yeah, and Berlin couldn't wait any longer. He had pressure on him. It was a longer route.
This time the punt goes straight in the air. Monroe shanks it, and it goes out of bounds at the 39-yard line.
Now this is what we're talking about, the inconsistency of Miami punting. They're 85th in the nation in net punting.
Remember, he got hit, roughed up the last time he punted, even though he got a decent kick away. This time it's only an 8-yarder. It sets up Florida State with great field position when we come back. 11:28 till halftime, 7-3 Noles. Take a look at that last pass play Swanee was talking about, Bob.
There's Winslow. Here he's looking at him. What you're going to see is what he's got to throw the ball a little quicker than he wanted to. And as Swanee said, Samuels bumped him and forced him to the outside. Whereas Berlin thought he was going up more downfield like they ran it in practice. And Kellen, because he got bumped, ran a little bit shorter.
And then after the short punt of 8 yards, Florida State great field position at the Canes 39-yard line. Already leading 7-3.
8-yard punt, huh?
Yep. Greg Jones. Got around the first Cane, but not much more. Jonathan Vilma came over to knock him out of bounds along with Mo Sykes, the safety.
Thomas Carroll, the end on the play, did a nice job of stringing it out.
There's the two safeties. Taylor, the big fella that's already got an interception in this ball game.
Both those guys will be I shouldn't say that. Sykes will be graduating as a 5th-year senior. There's been a lot of talk of Sean Taylor maybe deciding that this might be his last season.
2nd down and 9 after a 1-yard gain by Jones. This time the fullback straight ahead and down inside the 30, James Coleman. McClover, the outside linebacker, made the stop. Time now with 11 and change remaining in the 2nd quarter for our final Aflac trivia question of the season. Which Seminole was chosen highest in the NFL draft? Now there's your choices: Boulware, Sanders, Wadsworth, and Pete Wark.
You get a multiple choice?
I guess. We haven't had it. We haven't had a multiple choice in a long time, have we? If ever?
Never.
I don't think so either. 3rd down and a yard. Ricks will try to do it himself. I don't know. He didn't have to get much, but he didn't get much. And you see the linesman, well, maybe he got a decent enough spot to have picked it up. It's awfully close. And Vince Wilfork's on the bottom of the pile talking to the linesman. He said, "You sure about that now?" And Vince stayed down on one knee. He's going to get a little extra rest there, but they are going to move the chains. Florida State now 3 for 3 on their 3rd and shorts, their 3rd and 1s tonight. And now inside the 30 at the 29-yard line, a 1st down with 10:27 in the clock running. Florida State leading 7-3. This time Jones has some room, and Greg running over people inside the 5. That's more like what we've seen out of him in his career in Tallahassee.
A great block. Just going to run. Watch the fullback on Vilma. Right up the gut. Everybody takes their man. They're right there. This is the block that springs it. The fullback, Coleman. Now he's going to run over the safety. Get a shot of that. Get a shot of that for your highlight film.
Yeah.
Running over Taylor.
That's not easy. 24 yards later, it's 1st and goal, Florida State. Jones stays in there as the tailback in the eye. They'll go to the fullback again, though. And penalty marker on the play. As you heard the whistles as James Coleman got the handoff.
3 things on that last play, Brad. The Hurricanes.
Snap, false start on the offense. 5 yards, still first down.
And you know, anything, if you're strong up the middle, if you're tough up the middle, you got a good defense. You got Wilfork blocked, number 75. You got the middle linebacker blocked, Vilma, and you run over the safety. That's your 3 best players on defense.
What a great run.
And that's the kind of running that Greg Jones has always done and done best, and he's got to continue. He tried to add a little wiggle to his game, it seems, this year, and that's not his style. He's got to use his speed, and he is the strongest player on the Seminole football team.
And you can see he's got some chalk marks to show for his efforts tonight. Out of the shotgun. Here he is. Down to the 7. McClover again in on the stop. So Florida State with an opportunity to kind of take control of the ball game. Greg Jones 2 years ago. Remember the game we did 2 years ago?
Yeah.
He was all over the place against the Hurricanes. 31 carries for a career high 189.
Yeah, you never forget those games, whether you're on the Florida State side on offense or the Miami side on defense. You always have that memory in your memory bank.
Second and goal at the 7.
Can we do that again against them, or can we not?
This time they fake it to him. Ricks rolls and throws to the end zone. Touchdown. Matt Henshaw, the tight end of all people. Wasn't it Nessler and Greasy that say they never throw to their tight end?
They do a few times.
Yeah.
Henshaw came up. He came in with 4 receptions, 1 for a touchdown. That's his second. But Ricks makes the play. Rolls to his left, buys some time, and then the tight end, who, like we say, nobody looks for, picks up the touchdown.
Bethier in for the point after. Zaliad up and good. So Florida State trying to snap a 4-game losing streak against Miami. They're off to a heck of a start. The touchdown makes it 14-3.
The FedEx Orange Bowl. This ABC Sports exclusive presentation brought to you by FedEx, proud sponsor of the Bowl Championship Series. The Chrysler Town & Country. Nokia, connecting people. And Miller Lite. There's good enough and there's better than it has to be. Miller, good call.
Back at Pro Player Stadium, 14-3 now.
Here's the tight end, Henshaw. He's just going to come across the end zone. Watches when Ricks gets outside. Fakes the play action. Now the tight end, you see the tight end right above there. He's waving his hands. There he is wide open, and Ricks is going to find him. It's a good job by Ricks. Play action, outside the pocket, finds him, and calmly gets him the ball.
And Chris Ricks' reaction after some nightmare games in the past against the Hurricanes. Yeah, he'll take that one.
That's all Chris Ricks. This offense, the quarterback has to make the plays. The tight ends, 3 tight ends for Florida State, coming into the ball game, had 15 receptions and 2 touchdown passes.
78 yards, a 52-yard bomb, and then that touchdown. Most of what Chris has done tonight, giving his team a 14-3 lead. Hester on the return only got to the 20 and again got leveled. Casey Anderson down there to special teams makes the stop. So again, the Canes don't have good field position. That's been the story of their night. Remember, that last drive only went 39 yards because it all started with the 8-yard punt. So the field position was in Florida State's favor, and they took advantage for the touchdown. And now they lead with 8.5 minutes to go, 14-3 here in the first half.
Hurricanes have had the ball 4 times. Scored a field goal on their first possession, had a nice drive, took it down, and since then they've had 2 punts and an interception.
There's their average starting field position in 5 possessions. The
Not
18.
good.
No, this time it is at least the 21. Berlin, nice play fake. Brock, deep sideline for Winslow, and looking for a flag, and Jerome Carter covering again. Carter, who had an interception in this ball game.
Brad, Rufus Brown, number 7, had a big opportunity here to pick this pass off. Watch him right, number 7. He turns, he sees the ball all the way right in his hands. Maybe that's the reason he's on the defensive secondary as opposed to being a wide receiver. If he was in Miami, he'd have to be on the ground doing push-ups about right now.
And Winslow, they had Winslow kind of hiding in the backfield there, but I don't think anywhere number 81 goes are going to hide him tonight.
That interception that Rufus had, the only one on the season, was in the regular season game against the Canes in October. Berlin, quick drop, throws out to Winslow this time, who wheels and gets near the 30-yard line, or it's going to be third down and a long yard. Rufus Brown again was the guy out there with number 81. And he made the tackle. Well, tonight, 3 receptions for Kellen after Bob was saying the last 3 games of the regular season was not big for him.
There wasn't. You know, he led the team in receptions coming in. Career coming in, he had 114 and 9 touchdowns. But they're getting the ball to him tonight.
They've thrown it at him 7 times. He has 3 catches. Third down, a big one here for Miami. They want to get some points before halftime. Jarrett Payton cuts it outside. Got the corner. Payton got the first down, and down the sideline it goes. Another long run by Jarrett Payton. Penalty marker comes in at the end of the play. Might be a face mask. He rips one off of 46 yards.
A good block by Vernon Carey, the offensive guard, and Payton gets after it. Not known for a lot of speed, but he goes a long way before somebody catches up to him. Watch Carey, number 60, right there, gets the block on the end, and then a help from the fullback.
Play, 5 yards, first down.
The face mask going to be a 5-yarder right there. So a 37-yard run earlier for Jarrett, 46 more there. We talked to him at the coaches' luncheon yesterday. I said, Jarrett, good luck. Maybe you'll end up with 1,000 on the season. I tell you what, he's on his way.
He sure is.
92 already in the first half.
And he wants it badly.
At the 20. Now Moss, who takes Payton's spot. He'll take the left side, and he goes for 8 or 9. And Winslow, trying to lead the way blocking, lost his helmet again.
Number 81, Winslow, goes back in underneath. It's like almost like a pulling guard.
Got a good hit on B.J. Ward. Down to the 11-yard line. So Miami driving with just over 7 minutes remaining in the half. Jarrett Payton comes back in.
Keep in mind, guys, Jarrett Payton's first start of the season was against Florida State on October 11th, and he said at the luncheon the other day how nervous he was this game. He says, I'm calm, I'm ready to show I've improved and what I can do.
He had almost 100 yards in that game. He's got almost 100 in the first half, and here he goes again down to the 5-yard line. And it looks like it's going to be first and goal.
From behind the defense, that's Myers and McGrath and Carey right up front, coming right at you.
So most of this drive done by sons of Hall of Famers. Kellen Winslow as a pass receiver. Jarrett Payton, the son of the great Walter Payton, with 98 yards, and he's got him first and goal. Gets the call again. This time the pursuit trying to bring him down, but he still got around the corner and got a couple. He almost snuck around that corner for the touchdown. That should put him right at 100, I think.
You wouldn't think that you could outrun this Seminole defense to the sideline. They've got so much speed.
Well, Bob, you see right there, he slips. If he hadn't slipped, he might have been able to get his shoulder square and to the goal line and forced it in. Yeah, but he's using his power, his arm, to push off those guys, stay up, give himself another chance. He's fighting. He's not necessarily the fastest guy, but he's fighting and using his power.
He comes out, the tight end's in. It's second down and goal at the 3. If you're going to use play action, this would be the spot for it. Moss is back in there at tailback. He'll get the call. Moss got it. Touchdown. So Payton got him close. Moss got him in.
It's the mark of a champion. When you go down 14-3, you take it right down the field and knock it in.
Now we got a ball game going on. Extra point attempt by John Petty to try to make it a 4-point game. And he's got it up and good. Again, Jared Payton was most of the long drive for Miami. His freshman counterpart does the rest from 3 yards out. It's 14-10. We asked you our Aflac trivia question earlier. Which Seminole was chosen highest in the NFL draft? There's your choices. We got a multiple choice. Boulware, Sanders, Wadsworth, or Warwick. Swanee, you want to go? Bob?
Swanee. Well, I know you guys are trying to trick me because I've got the lead. I know they all went in the first round, but Andre Wadsworth, I think, went highest to the Cardinals, and I think he was in the first round and the 3rd player pick.
I would agree with you because I think Deion Sanders was about a 5th to the Falcons, and I think the other 2 guys were 4th.
How can we gain any?
We can't.
When we make easy questions and he knows these answers.
I guess you know that you're going to take Wadsworth.
Yeah, I like
too?
Wadsworth.
All right. I think Wadsworth was the 3rd pick in the first round of the Cardinals back in 98.
I still think we should have 2 questions and one of them worth 2 points.
Well, you know, Swanee controlled his own destiny. We talked about it yesterday with us. From the 8-yard line on the return, Leon Washington got out across the 20 to about the 21. So the answer, we all agreed, was Andre Wadsworth. And man, was he something. 3rd overall pick. He could come around that corner about as fast as anybody you'd ever seen. Some great defensive ends that have played here over the years for Florida State. So Swanee is the guy that has won it, the season winner. Boy, it was close. It was close.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Humble and victory, I shall be.
So at the 23-yard line, Rick's going to work, and pass intended for PK Sam tipped and incomplete. Aflac Trivia Question Award. There's the duck. That's what Swanee gets to take home. He gets to carry that home.
Yeah,
actually gets to carry it to New Orleans for the Nokia Sugar Bowl.
Do you engrave my name on the Aflac duck?
This is the traveling duck. You betcha. We got plenty of room for that.
Well, you know, hey, he's a cousin, a relative. I'll take the duck home with me, put him with the rest of the swans.
He is a distant relative. You're correct, sir. Our congratulations to Swanee, who won the trophy this year. And it was a tight one over Bob and I by 1. Oh, what a hit by Vince Wilfork. Oh. Have Fork will travel. Holy mackerel. Leon Washington's going to feel that one till about next Tuesday.
I don't know if this is a fork or a serving spoon.
Oh, that's not fair.
That isn't fair.
He picks the smallest guy in all the running backs.
And he's the biggest guy on the field.
You marvel at a man who weighs that much and who has such quick and light feet. Look at his footwork. As he comes in, he keeps good technique, keeps his body moving. Oh, smothers the opponent.
Hello.
Now out of the shotgun on 3rd down and 14. And now Vince dances into the neutral zone, whistles, and the umpire gets landed on by Leon Washington. 345 pounds of dancing bear, Vince Wilfork. And the penalty, here's a call.
Prior to the snap, full start on the offense. 5 yards, remains 3rd down.
There is the big fella.
Well, the big fella moved, and that got all the offensive linemen shaking a little bit.
Well, they got the ground shaking for crying out loud.
Watch him move. He's right here. He's going to move. Now watch where the other guy's going to move.
See, that's about a 6 on the Richter right there. That gets everybody jumping.
I think it will a 77 to move first, and that's what got Vince moving. It's hard to stop that much motion when you get it going.
And the E-motion right now is on the side of the Hurricanes. You don't have to worry about penalties. Usually the team that's penalized the most in this series wins the game. So don't worry about it. But now it's a tough spot for Chris Ricks and company. 3rd and 19.
Good shot right here. You're seeing exactly what Chris is seeing.
Just be a draw play. Try to play it safe. And out close to the 20 goes Washington.
That's a good call. Nothing fancy. Give it a chance. And punt it away.
What you have to remember, though, is you have to get the punt out of there. Because Stein's going to be in a tough spot around his own 5, 6, 7 yard line.
You want to force Miami to do it, their offense, to score on their own and not help them along. Here's Winslow on the right side.
Got it away. Kick. I think Roscoe Parrish either lost sight of it or lost it in the lights. One of the two. He looked up and couldn't find it, and he lets it go out of bounds. Luckily, it didn't hit him. This will be the best field position Miami's had in quite some time. Maybe they can capitalize. They only trail by 4 with 3:44 left in the half.
You're watching the FedEx Orange Bowl on ABC Sports.
Take a look at the Chrysler passing playbook, Bob.
All right, defensively, this is what they're thinking. The corner on the short side of the field is going to blitz and get the quarterback. If the offense sees that, here's what they're thinking. This receiver that's 4'4" is going to beat this safety who is not used to covering fast wide receivers. They pick up the blitz. The 4'4" wide receiver runs past the safety, and things work out for the offense.
The 52-yard toss that led to a 9-yard touchdown run by Booker.
The key there is, defensively, when you're going to do that, don't let the offense see it. Chris Ricks saw that, checked to that play, and got deep on the safety.
But now the Canes defense that played well in that last series gets it back for their offense with 3:44 left and a penalty marker down.
Right of the snap, full start.
That is the
on the
first
offense,
penalty.
5 yards, 1st and 15.
Against Miami.
They were the most penalized team in the conference and one of the most penalized teams in the nation this year.
3rd most, and still 110. Both teams 10-2 on the regular season. Miami with its 14th 10-win or better season in its history. Bobby Bowden had 14 of them in a row himself for Florida State. Brock Berlin throwing short. Moore on the run on the crossing pattern. Ryan Moore cuts outside. Down the sideline. Isn't bumped out till he gets to the 35-yard line. 41 yards, Berlin to Moore.
I think this is good. They should go to somebody other than Winslow because everybody's paying attention to Winslow. Moore on a crossing route, a great throw, gets it where he doesn't have to break stride and then just keeps picking up blocks and gets around the end for a nice gain.
Quad Hill, the fullback, got a nice block for him, and Ryan Moore happy after a 41-yard gain. And now Miami with 2 timeouts to work and 3.5 minutes left with an opportunity to maybe go down and lead before halftime. Little delay. And it's good for about 3 yards to Tyrone Moss, who scored the touchdown that got him the 10 points they have right now. Let's check in with John, Craig, and Terry out in Pasadena, fellas.
Coming up on the BMW X3 halftime report, we will have Matt Leinart, quarterback and MVP, and Pete Carroll of USC Trojans, winners of the Rose Bowl.
And we'll talk about the Sugar Bowl, the nation's best defense, LSU.
Let's talk about some offense, too. What do you say?
All of that coming up in just a bit. Back to you.
All right, fellas, nice to see they didn't tear up all the turf at the Rose Bowl there after the celebration. Berlin, draw play inside to Moss. That goes nowhere. In fact, a loss on the play. Augustin, the linebacker, is the first guy that submarined him in there.
What a great year for USC, huh?
Yep.
I mean, these teams, they're going to be good again next year.
You bet they are.
SC, Oklahoma's got a lot of guys coming back, and also LSU. Throw in these two. Miami's got a lot of guys coming back. Florida State loses a lot of defensive guys, but offensively, everybody's back except one starter.
Those 2 teams, those 5 teams that Bob just mentioned might be your preseason top 5 next year. And Georgia, an overtime winner over Purdue, gets just about everybody back. They could be pretty good.
I knew you'd mention that.
I know. I had to get it in there. 3rd down and 9. Berlin with time throws a dart out to a first down to Moore. So a 10-yarder to Ryan that time after the 41-yarder earlier, and it's first down Hurricanes.
That's a good throw by Brock. This is the first day, the first game of a new year, and although he struggled in 03, he's got another year left to play, and the battle for the Miami quarterback next year starts in the spring, but Brock Berlin could get that job very easily.
He's got his team moving to the 24 of Florida State.
Just because Berlin had a tough year this year, don't be surprised if he comes on and has a great year next year.
Jarrett Payton back in there as the tailback, already with a 100-yard game in the first half. They fake it to him. Berlin might want it all. Winslow was his intended receiver. He got tangled up with a cornerback, Rufus Brown. And they're going to say that the pass was uncatchable. Well, certainly it was when you get tripped at the 5-yard line. You're not going to get to the end zone.
Well, they ran into each other. And in college football, there's no 5-yard rule. And as long as the ball's not in the air and the defensive back is in front of him, you can block him or with your hands.
There's the collision right there.
I don't know if you can hold it, though. He stuck his arms out and arms around it. Brown slipped initially. He can jam him as long as the ball's not in the air and he's not past him. But that, when he fell down, his arms went out. He was trying to give him a hug.
Just a little bit of love there.
Yeah, a little love.
Not much loss between these two teams. 2nd and 10. Berlin from the gun. Brock's in trouble. Flushed out of the pocket. He'll try to run it himself up the middle. And he's got a first down, I think. Brock Berlin, tough run. Got 11 on a 2nd and 10.
You got to be able to do that if you're a quarterback. You've got to be able to improvise. When everything goes bad, you got to say to the coach, we've been working on this play all week, but I'm pulling it down and I'm doing something. I'm getting out of here. Just don't make a mistake by turning the ball over. Possess the football and don't turn it over.
He got it out of there for his longest run of the season. 11 yards. And it's first down, Miami, with just over a minute left in the half. Trying to take the lead on Florida State. Berlin fires outside, incomplete, intended for Ryan Moore. Moore looked like he slipped a little bit on his cut.
Bob and Brad, with that slip on this cut, we should tell people that just prior to pregame warm-up, there was a little rain burst on the field. Not a significant amount, but there are some slippery spots here and there on this football field.
You see Stanford Samuels going down as he got to the sideline, had to hobble to get that far. And so the starting senior cornerback, let's see if we can see, getting coverage on Moore and just slipped, and himself, both guys slipped, and Stanford going down the second time when he tried to cut back. While they check on him, we'll try to see what the injury is about with a little less than a minute to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back at Pro Player Stadium in a moment. The Hurricanes took over on this drive with 3:44 left at their own 29-yard line, and now the 8th play of the drive is coming up, and it's 2nd down and 10 at the Florida State 13-yard line. Payton, the tailback. Parrish, the lone wide receiver. 2 tight ends in there, Everett and Winslow. Play action. Berlin swarmed under. Michael Boulware flying in there with Wembley and company. And this has been a team that hasn't been able to sack the Miami quarterback in the last 4 times they played him, and they finally got to one.
Boulware comes from the outside and is untouched. Look at him over here. There's nobody touching him. There's 4 defensive linemen. Both the outside guys are unblocked. Miami was trying a little play action. 2 tight ends. Florida State says, we're getting in and we're sacking you.
Down at 18 seconds, and they're backed up to the 20-yard line now. 3rd and 17. Time winding down. They're using a lot of time, and now he's going to go down again. Now you start to wonder if they're out of field goal range. Samuels this time. Timeout taken with 3 seconds left. Boy, they had it looking like they were on their way in for a possible touchdown to take the lead. Now they're going to be lucky to get a 3 out of it.
There's certain times when you tell your people, your players, don't do this. And in this situation, Samuels, number 10, is unblocked. Don't get sacked. Don't get sacked. And that's one of the times when you just want to get rid of the ball. If somebody gets close to you, throw it away.
Back-to-back sacks with 7-yard loss and a 6-yard loss.
Brad, Bob, by the way, Stanford has had a reoccurring groin problem injury, and that's what happened to him on the play when he slipped. He kind of re-injured it, but the word is, as you've seen, he'll be back in this ball game.
Now, what I was saying is it still field goal range? This is no chip shot. 44-yard attempt by John Petty. the final play of the half, and he got it. So that's the last play of the quarter, and Petty knocked it through. He drilled it from 44 to make it a one-point ball game. Good first half of the 70th FedEx Orange Bowl. (14-13). Let's go down to Lynn.
Well, Coach, I was going to say in the first half, the only thing you haven't done is gotten to Brock Berlin, but in this last series, your defense put some pressure on him.
Well, we finally did, and if we don't, we're probably going to get beat if we don't put some more pressure on him and if we don't tackle better.
It looks like on the offensive side for your team, Greg Jones and running up the middle seems to be getting you a little momentum with your offensive unit.
We really have. We've run the ball better, and we have got to offensively. You got to run the doggone football so you can throw it. So we just simply, both of us have. I really felt like this was a game, if you don't turn the ball over and you don't lose the kicking game, you'd probably win it.
Coach, thank you. We'll see you at the start of the second half.
Good to see you, buddy.
Both teams have turned it over, but both teams playing well in the first half. 14-13 is our halftime score. We'll be joining John Terry and Craig at the Rose Bowl in Pasadena for the BMW X3 halftime show right after this. You're watching ABC Sports Championship Television.
This is the Bowl Championship Series on ABC Sports as coverage of the FedEx Orange Bowl continues.
Welcome back as we start to cap a great day of college football on ABC Sports. Started with the Capital One Bowl and the Rose Bowl, where USC will get at least a share of the national championship. And we're topping it off with a 70th FedEx Orange Bowl. And here, Florida State in Miami. We welcome you back, everybody. ABC proud to be part of all those games in the BCS. And this game, a good one. 14-13, Florida State with the lead at halftime. And, partner, I like this because not only is it a good game, it's an in-state rivalry. Both teams came in with 10 wins. They want to go out on a high note. Jarrett Payton has an opportunity to go out on a high note. Here's a guy that would not have been a starter had Frank Gore not gotten hurt, and he is on the cusp of a 1,000-yard rushing season.
And who would have thunk it? Certainly the star of the first half, Jarrett Payton. You know, Miami's had some great running backs. Edgerrin James and Clinton Portis and Willis McGahee, and he had to wait his turn to his 5th year to get over 1,000 yards. He's very close to doing it here tonight.
Great runs in the first half of 46 and 37 yards. This one, as he cut it outside, that was part of a touchdown drive. They got down close. They got a field goal of 44 yards to end the half to make it 14-13 right now. And we take a look at the Nokia team comparison in the first half statistically, and they have big time a possession advantage to Miami, but it doesn't matter if you got the field position working for you.
That's right, and these 2 sacks are the first 2 sacks in 5 games for Florida State against the Hurricanes.
So only 149 total yards, but remember, Florida State, after that one short punt by Miami, didn't have to go very far to get their last touchdown, and they have the lead 14-13 as we're just about set to start the third quarter. Had a great halftime show here at Pro Players Stadium, and the lights are back up. The teams are back out there. The fans are ready to get back into it. And you saw, if you saw the first half, a big shot that Chris Ricks took on a hit by John Vilma, and that mouse under his eye by the end of the game might be a full-grown possum. At the 14-yard line, and Florida State's going to try a little trickery on the opening kick, and it's going to backfire. They tried to throw it cross field, Cromartie to Washington, and they lost yardage.
Some of Bobby Bowden's old stuff. He got 3 or 4 weeks between the end of the last game of the season and the bowl game.
He got bored, didn't he?
He put some of his tricks in.
Cromartie fields it.
You got no, Cromartie. You need to go more. You need to go about 5 or 10 more yards to your right and about 5 or 6 seconds, and then throw it back. Let all the Hurricanes come to one side, and then throw it across field. He got too anxious.
Yeah, he didn't sell it worth a darn, did he? So first down, their worst field position for Florida State to open up the third quarter. Coleman and Booker, the eye backfield behind Chris Ricks. On first down, Chris to throw. Throw a little fade out to P.K. Sam. Incomplete. Antrell Roll was covering, and we check in with Swanee.
Well, guys, I like to think I'm a handy guy around the house, so let me give you my Home Depot coaching adjustments for the second half here. For Florida State, you really got to contain the run, not allow Miami to get the big run. And then if you're Miami, you got to control the ground attack or control Chris Ricks, force him to scramble more. No negative plays in the red zone. Those are the adjustments for the second half. Keep an eye on them.
If you're so handy around the house, how come Chirino won't let you build that storage shed in the backyard that you've been talking about?
Because I can't get nails long enough.
Inside handoff, and no gain on the play for Booker. E.J. Williams, number 17, the outside linebacker, making another nice play. E.J., a senior, playing his final game for the Hurricanes. You know, if you Florida State fans, if you're looking at your team and you say something looks different, this is the first time the Seminoles are wearing garnet tops with white pants. Normally it's garnet and gold. Usually got the gold pants going. There's the white pants. And the Unity Council, which basically is 3 players from each class, went to Coach Bowden and said, Coach, we want to try the garnet-white combo. And you're seeing it tonight. They have the lead, but now they got a 3rd and 10 they're staring at.
They have worn garnet on garnet, too, haven't they?
Yes, they have. Here's a handoff. Booker trying to get to the corner. And he's going to be short of the first down, so they're going to have to give it up on their opening possession. Sean Taylor and Booker having a few words.
Booker is the true freshman, or redshirt freshman. He came in last year out of California. He was the big hotshot stuff. Hasn't had an opportunity to play a whole lot this year.
Nope, yes.
He got an injury earlier this year, but Oxnard, he left California to come east.
Jesse Stein again having to punt from deep in his own territory. Gets the kick away, hangs it high. Parrish takes it on the run at the 40. Roscoe reversing his field. And he's only going to get about 6 or 7 yards out of the return. But great field position now for the Canes to open up their first series of the 3rd quarter. There's the first half possessions.
They scored on their first drive, then had the interception, and then scored on their last 2 drives.
And again, this is their best field position now as they get to start from their own 46-yard line. And Brock Berlin will trot back. He's the last guy to the huddle, bringing with him an extra tight end in Kevin Everett. This is not the first time Brock has started an Orange Bowl, but the last time he did, he was wearing a different uniform.
He was a Gator.
At the 46-yard line, 1st and 10. Winslow now going to set up over on a wing, and he'll come in motion into the backfield. Berlin throws incomplete. His receiver slipped, but the pass was not deep enough for Roscoe Parrish. And Brock Berlin wearing the Canes colors. But there's another familiar face. Steve Spurrier was the coach. Rex Grossman didn't make the start. Brock Berlin did in that Orange Bowl against Maryland. And he lit it up for a touchdown pass as well in the first half. And of course, Brock beat the Gators this year in a game we had for you on ABC. A thrilling game, a huge comeback in the 4th quarter. And that was a sweet victory for him over his ex-teammates from Gainesville. Tonight he's 9 out of 18, 107 yards, and has thrown an interception to Jerome Carter on a great play by Carter to tip it to himself. Here's been the guy of the night offensively, Jarrett Payton. And Jarrett goes for 4 more, so 104 on the night. And having a great final game as a Miami Hurricane player. 3rd down and 6.
This game, it figured to be a defensive struggle, and it hasn't disappointed. Both of these defenses are just superb. And the offenses, as long as the quarterbacks can make plays against these strong defenses, points are going to be put on the board, but they're not going to be given out just in big numbers. You're going to have to drive down the field and score whenever you can.
3 receivers for Berlin on 3rd down and 6. Over the middle he goes to Winslow. He's got a 1st down. And Kellen Winslow inside the 40 down to the 38-yard line. So another catch for the All-American tight end. Kellen Winslow, great season, the leading receiver for Miami coming in. He had a pretty good first half, too.
Boy,
got involved early.
Lines up wide. Lines up at the tight end and blocks. He's aggressive. I mean, we watch practice. I mean, he's a heck of a player.
At the 39, 1st down. Payton. And this time tripped up after just a short gain. Got about 2. And he's at 960 for the season unofficially. So closing in on what could be a 1,000-yard senior season, number 34. There's the two sons of Hall of Famers, Kellen Winslow Jr., 81, Jarrett Payton, son of the late great Walter Payton, sweetness of the Chicago Bears. And you know, his daddy's watching on from a great seat. And I'm sure we said to him yesterday, your daddy would be so proud of you. This time hit the backfield, lost yardage. Eric Moore, nice play.
Seminoles respect all of that, but they're not giving an inch.
Nope.
That defense is aggressive, and as we mentioned, they're veteran players. A lot of them playing their last college game for Mickey Andrews.
Here's the little delay as we look from behind Payton, and boy, they were there to meet him. Augustin and Moore and the rest of the group. So it's back to the 41, and it's 3rd down and long. Moore and Parrish and Moss, the wide receivers, and Winslow's in that group of 3 right there in the middle of your screen. Florida State's going to bring a blitz. Berlin's going to flare it out together, but there's a lot of guys there to meet him. Only got back to the original line of scrimmage. Ernie Sims, first guy to hit him, the freshman linebacker. So it's punting time for Miami. This is where Brian Monroe, who's had some good punts and then that 8-yard shank job earlier that ended up leading to a Florida State score, would just like to tuck it down inside the 10 somewhere. Florida State right now has nobody back.
Yeah, they're just playing punt safe, they call it. They leave the defense in, and they say, if you want to punt it, go ahead and punt it.
And now they might have too many guys on the field. Flags down as Monroe hangs it up, and it will take a Florida State bounce. But Florida State was trying to run somebody off and somebody else on, and they had 12 guys on the field, I'm pretty sure. Charles Howard and Stanford Samuels look like the two guys that were trying to change spots, and there's the illegal substitution situation going against Florida State. It was a 25-yard punt that was down at about the 13, 14-yard line.
And still be 4th down, about 4 yards to go.
The question, though, becomes then, do you give Petty a crack at a long field goal? Because if it goes down to about the 34, you're looking at 51. And they're talking things over with Larry Coker on the sideline as to what his options are. They can leave it alone and let Florida State have that ball at the 13-yard line, or they can try punting it again, or they can try field goal. We'll straighten it all out right about here.
Substitution infraction on the defense. 5 yards. Will replay 4th down.
So 4th down again. And they're going to try a field goal.
Here's a guy running in right here.
And there you see the substitution problem. And now it is going to be a different strategy, because there comes the place kicker, John Petty, as they walk it off. And when he and his holder spot it down, it's going to be
51.
51. Petty season long 44. He tied that earlier tonight. This one from 51 to try to give Miami the lead. The kick on the way, and he got it.
How about the decision of Coker to take the penalty and move it up and go for the punt, the field goal? You take a chance on getting it blocked. You see Ward just going over the top.
So if you thought that that penalty for the illegal substitution wasn't going to matter, it did. 51-yard career longer for John Petty. And now Miami leads Florida State by 2. Our aerial views courtesy of the Goodyear Tire and Rubber Company. With us tonight's Goodyear Blimp Stars and Stripes continue a 79-year tradition as the aerial ambassador and icon of the 106-year-old company. Larry Chambers, our captain, and his crew up there giving us great shots of Pro Player Stadium, where the lead has changed hands again. Miami on a 51-yard field goal leads Florida State 16-14. They gave the kid a crack at it, and he knocked it in there.
A great decision by Larry Coker.
It's kicked will go to Cromartie at the 6. Cromartie across the 20 out to about the 25-yard line. And that's where Florida State will go to work now as they try to work their way back into the lead. The BCS standings brought to you by Allstate, Oklahoma and LSU, and the Nokia Sugar Bowl on Sunday night on ABC. 1 and 2, USC in that number 3 spot, but now with a win today.
Say, I got mine.
I got mine.
I got my half.
ring.
I got my half. That's what Bobby said the other day when we were talking about split championships. He said one thing he says is, well, you just buy more rings.
That's right. There's always some jewelers out there. They're looking for one.
Make some jewelers have. Just buy more rings.
Total yardage, all Miami's extra 100. Let's see if Florida State starts to have to open it up a little bit now that they trail. Well, they're going to keep it on the ground. Draw play. Leon Washington. And warmed under by Antrell Roll. Coming up tomorrow night, 8 Eastern, Big 12 champ Kansas State. They're riding high after their upset of Oklahoma. Now they take on the defending national champion Ohio State Buckeyes. It's the Tostitos Fiesta Bowl. And then Sunday night, the dramatic ending to the BCS in the college football season. Jason White, the Heisman Trophy winner. Oklahoma and LSU. It's the BCS National Championship game. Don't miss the Nokia Sugar Bowl Sunday night at 8 Eastern right here on ABC. Brad Nessler, Bob Greasy, Lynn Swan, and our ABC crew here at the 70th FedEx Orange Bowl. 16-14, Miami, high snap. Chris Ricks. Now he's going to scramble, and he might get a first down.
Great play. Great play. Awareness to know that the snap was bad, the timing was off on the play. Just take it and get what you can. You know, we've done a lot of Florida State games over the years, Ness.
Yep.
And, you know, we've asked Chris Ricks. He's a California kid. We've asked him, why did you come all the way to Florida State?
Right.
You're only, you know, you're from Rancho Santa Margarita. It's 50 miles from USC. Why not USC? He says, well, he says, I want to come to FSU so I can play in and try and win a national championship.
Now you're saying had he stayed home, maybe he would have had that opportunity.
Yeah.
Well, boys, consider this. If he had stayed in California and gone to USC, there's still a chance he might not be the starting quarterback on the national championship team with the way that Matt Leinart played for him. And I guess he picked up MVP honors this afternoon.
Yeah, that's after the Heisman Trophy campaign of Carson Palmer a year ago.
Exactly.
Yep.
Well, everything works out for the best.
Chris, 3 runs tonight. All have netted him first downs. There's his passing numbers. And he's got a shiner to show for it, too. That eye will be completely black tomorrow morning. That's courtesy of the hit by John Vilma in the first half. First down it was. And on first down, they lose a yard or 2. And a little bit of pushing and shoving going on. Jonathan Vilma and company. And John is fired up, playing his last game for the Hurricanes. Let's look at Chris Ricks, though, and tell you what we think he does so well as we look at him in the spotlight in animation. He can move around. We just saw that. He got a first down on that last run. He's got a big old, he loves to throw long.
We've seen that tonight.
Yep, 52-yarder earlier, and he's aggressive. Sometimes the aggressiveness gets him in trouble, and we've seen that tonight as well.
Exactly. We've seen all 3. What was that little hurricane helmet? That
just squashing that thing.
Yeah, aggressive.
Well, he was squashing them in the first half, but now his team is down by 2. Second and 11. And Chris will hand it off to Washington. Well, the running is just, there's nothing there. Another loss of a yard. And Vilma's on the bottom of that pile again, along with Sean Taylor.
They're having fun.
They are.
This is there's the last game for a lot of those guys. Vilma's in his last game. DJ Williams, this is his last game. Sykes, maybe Sean Taylor is playing his last game. Only he knows. Wilfork might be in his last game.
Yep. They've all played well, that's for sure. And now they force Florida State into a 3rd and long again. 3rd and 12. Ricks from the shotgun. 4 wideouts for him. Chris has some time and fires down the middle and broken up. Incomplete. Taylor made the play on Dominic Robinson. That was Marshall, not Taylor. I beg your pardon. The corner. Time to punt again.
You know, they're having fun playing against each other. There's 108 of these players on Florida State and Miami that are from the state of Florida, and a lot of them, 35, 40 of them, went to high school together, so they all know each other and they enjoy playing against each other.
Stein gets a punt. High, fair catch called for. Did it hit Roscoe Parrish?
I think it hit the Florida State player, did it?
Rolls all the way down to the 13. Pat Watkins is one of the first guys down there. Roscoe Parrish has not had an easy time returning punts tonight.
Yeah,
he struggled with it a little bit.
Right here.
There it is, right in the noggin. That's using your head, Pat. 7:05 to go third quarter.
The FedEx Orange Bowl. This ABC Sports exclusive presentation brought to you by FedEx, proud sponsor of the Bowl Championship Series. The next Ford F-150, built Ford tough. Tostitos, nothing brings friends together like Tostitos chips and salsa. Meet you at the Tostitos. And the Home Depot, you can do it, we can help.
Back at Pro Players Stadium, the 70th FedEx Orange Bowl, 16-14. Watch Kellen Winslow coming on the right side of your screen. He got one right in the jaw from Marcelo Church, and then got back up and tried to get him back a little bit, and finally kind of hobbled around.
Your All-American tight end playing special teams, trying to block a punt.
Yep. There he is in the slot.
And he's there because he wants to be there.
At the 30-yard line. Miami with the lead and the ball with 7:05 to go third quarter. And Berlin ready to throw again, and goes to Kellen Winslow. And Kellen's got it across the 35 to the 36. P.J. Ward made the stop. 5 catches now for Kellen Winslow. Miami's last 3 possessions putting up points. 13 points the last 3 times they've had it.
Yeah, 2 of those were in the first half, and the last one was in the first possession of the second half.
And that was after, again, it looked like they were going to have to punt, but the illegal substitution on Florida State got him close enough to try a field goal by Petty, and he hit it. And Payton stopped by Kendall Pope. There's Mom, Connie Payton, cheering her son on. Having almost the game of his life in the final game of his career for the Hurricanes.
Sweet lady, and a great job that she's done.
Garrett, a lot that he's had to deal with, including in his freshman season when his dad passed away. And through 5 years, as Bob said, having to sit behind all those great backs, and now closing in on 1,000 yards himself. And what certainly no one thought would be a 1,000-yard season, I don't think, for him. So we're going to keep our eye on him, see if he can get 43 more before the night's done. He's out of there right now, 3rd down and 4. Berlin over the middle, big time hit put on Winslow, and Berlin is down. Brock Berlin in a lot of pain. And his lineman over to have a look.
Seemed like he fell on his back.
Well, Bobby, Eric Moore and Charles Howard came in and applied the pressure. You'll see it here. She's getting ready to set and release this ball. He's hit low, hit high, and then right over. That's Howard.
Landed right on his back, lower back.
Yeah, and he was falling over a teammate or somebody else. Maybe it was Moore who was coming in low from behind. So he got airborne and then planted by Charles Howard. And Brock still not sitting up. And the other big hit was on the other end of his pass.
You see all these linebackers, that's Sims right there. They're all looking for him. It's 3rd and short, and you're looking for something short to your tight end.
You know, Winslow got it in the right jaw when he was trying to block that punt. At least they evened his mouth off now because they hit him right in the left jaw on that one. And here's another look at what Berlin had to take. You're going to see Moore, as Swanee said, going kind of from behind and then airborne over the top of everybody, and his neck gets cranked in there with his offensive lineman to boot. So we'll see if he can come back or if we'll see Derek Crudup the next series for Miami. Right now they're getting ready to punt it away. Ryan Monroe to kick. Leon Washington is the deep man for Florida State.
That's another poor punt.
Yeah, and it bounced right out at about the 42-yard line. Almost went out of bounds, then took a huge Florida State hop again. Have to be checking on Brock Berlin to see if he can play some more. But we'll check on the Florida State offense when we come back. Brock Berlin on the Kane sideline trying to shake the cobwebs. Going to show you the hit one more time. First of all, he gets hit on a helmet-to-helmet from Charles Howard, the guy that's going to tackle him. That'll be the first helmet-to-helmet you'll see. As you see, number 59 coming over the top, and he gets Brock right in the kisser. Now watch as he's falling down. Winston, his left tackle, bang, there's the second helmet-to-helmet from his own guy. That hurts. And he's trying to clear away the fog right now. I bet you if you asked him if it was 2003 or 2004, he'd have it wrong. Most of us would, though. Nice play fake by Chris Ricks. And now he's going to come up and run with it. He's done his best work tonight scrambling, and he has held on to the ball. Sometimes he's fumbled 5 times this year scrambling around, losing things, but tonight he's held on to it pretty well.
That's what he needs to do. If everybody's covered, just tuck it, because he's a great runner. He's very mobile, as we showed. And if he holds on to the ball, that's the best thing.
So you see he's got 21 yards on the ground, and they've all been first down runs.
That exchange of punts, when Miami punted the ball, Florida State gained 16 yards. That's like hidden yards. You know, you don't see that. It just, when we punt and then you punt, we gain 16 yards on the exchange.
Now it's Jones. Greg Jones, who had a nice big run, bumbling down to the 5-yard line in the first half, gets down to the 40-yard line here. Well, Bachelor Bob broke her heart. I got a feeling she's going to get some revenge. Meredith is back, and she's got 25 guys to choose from, Bob.
All right.
The Bachelorette season premieres Wednesday, January 14th at 9, 8 Central on ABC. Who needs Bob? Well, I need Bob. Bob and Lynn, but 25 guys she's got to pick from.
She was one of 25 herself, probably, wasn't she?
Yeah, she was.
Now she's the one.
Yeah, she's battling back.
Yeah.
Against adversity and all the odds. Trying to win her man. Or they're trying to win her. 2nd and 3, fumble. Who's got it? Miami says they do, and they do.
They tried to give it to the fullback, which they don't carry. That fullback doesn't carry it that much. This time the exchange didn't happen right.
On Vilma with a fumble recovery.
He's not going to get the exchange. It comes right out of the quarter, out of the fullback's belly. That's on the fullback.
And then Jonathan Vilma just digs in. John's just trying to find a handle, and does right there.
That's B.J. Dean, who had the fumble.
So a break for Miami. Brock Berlin's back in there, by the way. There he is. We've seen some tough quarterbacks over the course of the day. How about Purdue's? Breaks his thumb, dislocates his thumb.
Yeah.
Comes back in, almost won the game.
Best field position for Miami.
And penalty markers.
It's got a little illegal motion.
And that's going to take that best field position and drop it back 5 yards.
Full start on the offense, 5 yards, 1st and 15.
Jonathan Vilma, big smile on John's face.
Not ordering a pizza. That's
National scholar, athlete. We mentioned that earlier. 2nd team academic All-American Jonathan making his 35th start in this ball game.
And last start. And talking to Randy Shannon upstairs.
They'll miss him. He's the undisputed leader of that group. Moss in there at tailback. They fake it to him, and the end around to Roscoe Parrish. And Parrish makes a little something out of nothing there. Picked up 7. Michael Boulware tracked him down. Nifty little fake by Berlin on that one. He really tucked it on his hip and sold it well. Watch this play fake. That looks pretty good. They just hand it off.
Like the old Statue of Liberty.
Yeah, almost.
Roscoe Parrish, probably as fast as any player on the field. Just couldn't get around the end.
Now, Roscoe didn't play the whole game last time these two clubs played, and those of you that saw that regular season game remember why. He suffered a big hit in the 2nd quarter of that first game. Berlin overthrows Quad Hill, and Brock took another hit. Bunkley and Moore put the hit on Brock Berlin that time.
Well, that defensive line, you know, just hitting the quarterback is as important as sacking him. Now that's a legal hit. You know, the ball was going away and there's nothing, no hit shots or nothing.
Up until tonight, we mentioned 4 games Florida State had gone in this series without getting a sack, and Mickey Andrews says, you know, it's not all about sacks. Sometimes it's about hitting you. Sometimes it's about getting interceptions on the other end, and they got 3 of those against Berlin.
That's right.
October 11th. 3rd and 8.
He got something wrong with his U on his helmet.
Whoa, tough catch. First down and a lot more. Geathers.
Well, you talk about a good play at both ends. Avoiding the sack by Boulware and then finding Geathers and making the catch.
That was a tough catch. A little bit of traffic and some congestion there.
Here's a blitz on the outside. You got more people than you can block. Both outside linebackers come.
Brock gets smothered and still delivers it. You're going to see the traffic I was talking about right there. That's a tough catch. And Geathers 4 catches all on 3rd down and a first down at the Florida State 33.
Hollering to Myers, get out of the way.
Back to the ground to Moss. Winslow trying to be his lead blocker. Florida State smothered that one. Darnell Dockett. Cameron Wimbley.
These two teams play. It always seems to be a tough battle, a close game. Up in Tallahassee earlier in the year, when a downpour, Miami jumped out ahead 22-0 on some of the mistakes that Chris Ricks made. Taylor ran one back, intercepted another one, and then Florida State came back. But this one, good weather and a good game, close game.
2nd down and 8. Just outside the Florida State 31. They keep it on the ground. Moss keeps trying. Florida State won't let him again. Darnell Dockett. Darnell didn't play last year in the Sugar Bowl, remember. He was suspended from that game and has come back, and Bobby Bowden said he's been as good a leader, working as hard as he could to get back in the good graces of not only his teammates but the coaches that he's been around. Darnell Dockett, a senior, political science major, and the defensive player of the year in the Atlantic Coast Conference, a 3rd-team All-American.
4-year starter at Florida State, leads in career tackles for loss.
This is his 49th career start, as Bob said. That's a lot of playing. 3rd and 6. Berlin looked to his safety valve and comes back across the middle to Kellen Winslow for a first down. But a penalty marker down back at the 40.
Going to get holding on Miami.
That'll negate the first down throw if that's the call, and it is. So they'll take away that first down, and let's check in with Swanee.
Well, Brad, thank you. I have with me Connie Payton, Jared's mom. And Connie, when you look at your son out there and he's out there playing football, what goes through your mind?
First of all, it's my baby, and I know he's 23 years old, but in my heart he's my baby. But I am so proud of him. I mean, I knew he could do this all along. You know, his dad had a lot of faith in him and told him, you know what, you're a better athlete than me. If you just really wanted it bad enough in your heart, you know, it's for you. No one can stop you. So I'm very proud of him.
When he calls you and he's going through a difficult time, what's that conversation like?
You know what? I just tell him to stay faithful and just, you know, go out, do what he's supposed to do, practice hard, you know, keep a smile on his face, be supportive of the other teammates. And I just knew somewhere along the line he would get his chance to play. And he proved that he can do this, that he can play this game.
Well, Miami's struggling just a little bit here, but he's going to try and get back in that ball game and get that 1,000 yards.
Yes, I hope they put him back in.
All right, Connie, thank you.
They're going to have to wait a series because Berlin had the ball tipped and it was intercepted. And Florida State's got it back. Eric Moore. He's going to hold on to that one for a while.
I think Moore bats it up, number 55. He hits it and intercepts it. Right there, he knocks it in the air and goes after it.
Jerome Carter earlier had a tip to himself for an interception. Now the defensive end does it to give Florida State the ball back with 1:54 to go in the 3rd quarter. Game 2 of our 4-game bowl championship series on ABC Sports here. It's the FedEx Orange Bowl, Tostitos Fiesta Bowl tomorrow, and the Nokia Sugar Bowl. LSU and Oklahoma Sunday night. There's a little Noel fan starting to chop. His team's got the ball back courtesy of Eric Moore's interception right at midfield. They trail by 2. They go for a quick strike after that turnover. Maybe. Play action. Ricks loads it, going deep down the middle, and broken up. Had to hesitate because the rush got to the pocket just a little bit, and then everything blew up on that play. Sean Taylor saying bye-bye to Willie Reed, as if to say, Willie, you weren't even close to that one.
It was play action, 2 receivers out to our right side. Look at Sean Taylor, number 26, getting back. He was fooled initially. He was on the other side of the field from the receivers, got back to be a part of it.
He's got his 10th interception of the season earlier in this ball game to lead the nation. Ricks now will work from the shotgun. Matt Henshaw in at tight end. He has a touchdown catch tonight. Chris throws incomplete, intended for Willie Reed again. We talked about Sean Taylor always being around the ball. Let's take a little spotlight look at big number 26, who's dancing out there right now. Spotlight, Sean Taylor. What's he got? He's got a lot. He is a big dude. Bigger than most linebackers.
6'3", 230.
And rangy. I don't know if he's that rangy, but he's rangy.
He covers a lot of ground.
He's a smart guy, a real smart player. So Florida State normally throws it about 35 times a ball game. They've only thrown 11 times tonight. That guy might be one of the reasons. Here comes number 12. Wanting to throw a screen. Chris Ricks slips. Did his knee go down? Apparently not, but he does go down anyway.
He wanted to throw a screen, and it was covered.
Thomas Carroll, one of the guys that kind of helped blow that up, the defensive end, and Orrin Harris.
And the good thing about that is Chris didn't throw the ball because the screen was covered. Nothing else to do. Punting is not a bad thing in that situation.
Well, they blew some good field position and wasted an Eric Moore interception, though. They didn't move it at all. So Stein is set to kick again. This an hand-over end kick that Parrish has to run a long ways to field at the 15. Parrish across the 25 and got about 12 or 13 on the return. Pat Watkins made the stop on the special teams. But Miami, no harm, no foul on that interception that was thrown a few plays ago by Brock Berlin. Coming up tomorrow at 4:30 Eastern on ESPN, Charlie Whitehurst and the high-powered Clemson offense will take on Casey Clausen and the Tennessee Volunteer team that finished the season tied for first in the SEC East. Don't miss the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl from the Georgia Dome in Atlanta. Coverage starts College Game Day Bowl special at 3:30 Eastern. For more information, log on to ESPN.com. I would take the team in orange in that ball game, probably in the Peach Bowl.
You would?
Yep, be a good bet. And Brock Berlin's going to call timeout. Jarrett Payton looks through the visor with a 103-yard night, hoping to add to it. We're down to the final 48 seconds of the third quarter, and Larry Coker's team clinging to a 2-point lead, 16-14.
And not much offense in that third quarter.
Both teams 10-2 on the season. Both won their respective conferences. And we asked both teams about the defining moments in their season. And when we asked Miami, the defining moment was this play against West Virginia on 4th and 13. What a catch by Kellen Winslow. They went on then to win the game 22-20. So they actually tied West Virginia for the Big East crown, but due to that victory, they get the spot here in this FedEx Orange Bowl. That was a great catch. Remember the night we were all watching that one?
It was unbelievable. It was.
Florida State rebounded from a 5-loss season of a year ago to go 10-2. Their defining moment. Great game against their other rivals, the Florida Gators. Chris Ricks loading and firing. 52 yards later, a touchdown to P.K. Sam to help beat the Gators. And Chris said, wow, what a ball game, 38-34. Two big moments for these two teams this year. 1st and 10 for the Canes. Jarrett Payton dancing through the middle, and Jarrett's Got 4 or 5. And that winds us down inside the half-minute mark remaining in the third quarter. Garrett got 4, 2nd down and 6 upcoming. And Miami, when they lead going into the fourth quarter, they don't lose very much. It looks like they're going to have a 2-point lead to go into the fourth quarter of the Orange Bowl. 2nd and 6, probably the final play of the quarter. Brock Berlin completes it across the middle. This one's Kevin Everett, the other tight end, and he is right near the first down marker with 3 seconds remaining in the third. And it is a first down, so once they move the sticks, it'll be a first down for the Canes at their own 38-yard line to end the third quarter. Well, we've had a good 70 at FedEx Orange Bowl. Larry Coker said, let's keep it going. We got 15 more minutes. At the end of 3, it's Miami 16-14. Our presentation to the FedEx Orange Bowl will continue after this message and a word from our ABC stations. You're watching ABC Sports Championship Television.
The FedEx Orange Bowl.
They've done this before. It was October 11th in the slop and rain of Tallahassee. And after 60 grueling minutes, it was a win for the Canes. Who'll take the rematch? Well, we're going to find out in the next 15 minutes. Because the Seminoles and the Hurricanes here in the 70th FedEx Orange Bowl have another shot at each other. To some of you out there, that might look like a giant Alka-Seltzer as we celebrate the new year. Happy New Year. We start the fourth quarter at 16-14.
How would you know that, partner?
I don't know. I just heard that. There's the scoring by quarters. Miami with 13 unanswered to lead now as we head into the fourth stanza. And as we showed you, in the last 18 years, they've only lost 2 games when they led going into the fourth. 1st and 10, Brock Berlin and the Miami offense just inside its own 39-yard line. They go with the end around. Devin Hester, the freshman, with a lot of speed, cuts it back inside. He only got a couple yards out of that.
Miami has dominated for the most part. They've held the ball over 27 minutes of time of possession. Florida State only 17. That's 10 minutes less, and it shows in the number of plays each have run. Miami is going to run their 60th play. Florida State only 37, and Florida State has only thrown 11 passes.
That one's the shocker. 11 passes. Brock Berlin may pass here. 2nd down and 8. Both his wideouts to the near side, and he'll give it off to Jared Payton. Payton puts his head down, bulls forward for a couple more. Michael Boulware was in on the tackle. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down, but we do have a flag.
Yeah, it's a late hit, and it's a good call. 41, I think that's Hall coming up right there and hitting Winslow when the play was over. There's no question.
After the play, dead ball, personal foul on the defense. 15 yards, first down.
There's no question.
Mistake. Mickey Andrews is hot.
Mickey doesn't like it. I think he's hot at his kid Hall. They'll probably take him out and have a little conversation with him. But the play was over with. The players are on the ground, and then Hall comes up. There's no question that Winslow is a marked man. Everybody wants to intimidate him and stay on him, but
not only
you don't do that.
Hall pulled, but the conversation was short. First down, big penalty.
He went back to the back row.
He did. Brock Berlin now out play action. Brock's going deep. Roscoe Parrish out there. Only overshot him by 2 or 3 yards. Good coverage by Antonio Cromartie.
Oh, Bob and Brad, we've talked a lot about these teams playing in the rematch and the pros and cons of getting out, the alumni getting emotional about a loss to Florida State or a loss to Miami. They can't recruit during this time. There's no recruits on the sideline, but there are a lot of young players, high school kids who are watching this game, and they're going to make a decision about this. And one of the top players in this area is a kid named Willie Williams. He's a linebacker. I'll tell you a little bit more about him after this play.
All right. A 2nd down and 10 at the 43. Handoffs to Peyton. Peyton broke one tackle. Nice gain again. Got about 6. Swannick.
Well, this young man, Willie Williams, a linebacker, he's 6'2", 230 pounds, runs a 40 in about 4.5. He's considered one of the top recruits in America at the linebacker position. He said he watched the first Florida State-Miami game in the rain, didn't make a decision one way or the other. Game was sloppy. But he said whoever wins this ball game in the story this week, they're going to have the lead in getting his services. Says there's good reasons for him to go to either school, but he's watching this ball game, and it's going to help make up his mind.
He's playing this weekend in an all-star game. I believe it's in San Antonio. And he's watching closely. He'll be in one of these uniforms next year, he says. Belinda throw. Rock fires out. Incomplete. Intended for more. Nice coverage out there by Rufus Brown.
Right, nice coverage by Brown. Cut in front of him. He had to throw the ball out there. It was going to be picked off.
So now it's 4th down. So the personal foul apparently isn't going to hurt things either. Mickey Andrews is saying, let's catch the punt. Let's not go after the punter. Dominic Robinson is back waiting on Brian Monroe's kick. His last punt, only 22 yards. And remember, he had an 8-yarder earlier in the ball game. And this one terrible again off the side of his foot. Unless he gets a great roll, and he doesn't. And Brian's having a tough night. And he's hearing about it right now. 12:46 remaining in the 4th quarter of the FedEx Orange Bowl. Miami leads by 2. Whenever the Goodyear Blimp's flying above a stadium, you know it's a big game. Tonight it's the FedEx Orange Bowl, and Florida-based Stars and Stripes giving us these beautiful pictures. Goodyear and its retailers want to wish everybody Happy New Year, and we want to add that to our friends at Goodyear. Great to have you along with us tonight. Great shots of Pro Players Stadium.
And a Happy New Year to everybody out there, and especially to the Southern California Trojans.
There'll be a happy team out of these two. Whoever comes out of this next 12:46 with a win. Booker got about 2. Again, as Bob said, only 11 passes thrown by Florida State against Randy Shannon's Miami defense. There's Randy, one of the top assistant coaches in the country, a defensive coordinator of the Canes. Doing double duty now as a defensive coordinator and working with the secondary since Mark Stoops went on to join brother Mike as his defensive coordinator in his new job at Arizona.
Mark Stoops was the defensive backs coach here for the last 3 years.
2nd down and 8. Let's see if Chris Ricks throws past number 12. He's missed his last 5. They give it inside as they fake the end around, and even that for Booker only got him 2 more yards. So even the deception of runs just isn't working against this Canes defense.
As I mentioned before, the number 1 and number 2 defenses in the land will play on Sunday night at the Sugar Bowl. LSU and Oklahoma are the top 2 defenses. Miami is number 3. And they're showing it here tonight. Vilma and Taylor and Wilford and DJ Williams leading the way.
They only allow about 117 yards on the ground a game. Florida State has 99, but now they're going to have to think about a pass on 3rd and 6. Chris Ricks, little slip screen out to Stovall, and he's met by Mo Sykes. So the other safety, the guy that doesn't get as much publicity as Sean Taylor, makes a nice stop.
Get a player down.
That's Orrin Harris, a defensive tackle. 300-pounder out of Delaware.
2 Hurricanes landed on top of each other. That's not.
That's where the play at the end of the play, but in the mix is where number 92 went down. Meanwhile, Florida State's going to be sending out their punting unit again for the 5th straight time. They've had a 3 and out. They just can't get anything going offensively. So we'll check on Orrin Harris. We'll be back at the Orange Bowl with 11:03 to play in a moment.
The FedEx Orange Bowl. This ABC Sports exclusive presentation brought to you by FedEx, proud sponsor of the Bowl Championship Series. Dodge, you can take life as it comes or you can grab life by the horns. Russell Athletic. Russell Athletic has proudly outfitted 25 Heisman winners. Are you Russell material? And Bank of America. Higher standards.
Just over 11 minutes remaining in the Orange Bowl. Orrin Harris took a long time to get him up and over to the sideline. And meanwhile, it's a 5th straight 3-and-out for Florida State. Another punt coming up. Nine got a beauty here.
Great kick.
Roscoe Parrish backpedals all the way to the 26. And down he goes at about the 29. Nice coverage by the Seminoles. Let's take a look at our FedEx air stats and ground stats. And Miami's won the air war so far, as they've got twice as many throwing yards as Florida State.
Yeah.
They've got 61 more rushing yards than the Seminoles as well in our FedEx ground stats.
And in the important column, the scoring, they've got 2 more points.
And clinging to that, both teams not being able to do much against the other's defense in the second half especially.
Yeah, nothing in the third quarter. Only 3 points were scored, and the offenses didn't do much other than that.
Kellen Winslow in motion. Tyrone Moss broke the tackle, got across the 32 out near the 33. So again, Tyrone, the freshman, back next year as a sophomore along with Frank Gore, and that'll put them in pretty good shape at the tailback spot.
Bob and Brad, they're going to take Orrin Harris into the locker room. They're saying the injury is to the left elbow. They'll check him out there, and but I doubt that he's coming back into this ball game.
Could very easily have been a dislocation the way he landed, strangely trying to put a rush into the backfield of Florida State, and ended up banging into his own teammate. As Moss got down close to the first down. Appears to be a little bit short. There's Orrin, big 300-pounder going off. He was in a lot of pain when he headed, and he still is, as you can see, heading to the locker room, as Swanee talked about.
There's a look at our friend Mickey Andrews.
Long-time defensive coordinator.
He's got a lot of good sayings. You ask him about opposing players, talking about the offensive line. He says, yeah, they got a veteran offensive line. They hold real good.
Well, we also have to congratulate Mickey.
And then also, Swanee, about the quarterbacks, is got to make that quarterback earn his scholarship today.
I think they've done that tonight.
Yeah, with Berlin. They get after him, knock him down, get after him.
3rd and 1. Moss hesitated in the background, and it cost him. And Boulware, one of the leaders of Mickey Andrews' defense, made the play.
I was going to say, boys, we also have to congratulate Mickey. You know, last night, New Year's Eve, was his 42nd wedding anniversary. We asked him about that and says, why'd you get married on New Year's Eve? He goes, well, I had to pick a date I figured I'd always remember. So for all those folks out there who picked New Year's Eve to get married, happy anniversary to all of you.
And for all of you out there that pick the early morning hours of the new year to get engaged, we congratulate you too. Just getting the kick away was Petty, the kicker, who punts this one after Monroe's had so many problems. And this one will roll dead at the 36-yard line. So they get a better punt out of their kicker than they have had out of their punter. Florida State's got it back. They only trail by 2 with 9:11 to play in the fourth quarter. 9:11 remaining in the fourth quarter of the 70th FedEx Orange Bowl. Brad Nessler, Bob Greasy, Lynn Swan, and packed house of our friends from either Tallahassee or South Florida, whoever you might be cheering for. Sebastian the Ibis strutting the sideline. Meanwhile, the Seminoles have the ball back, and how many more times will they get it? They've got to get something going on offense if they're going to come from behind to win now. They work from their own 36-yard line. Chris Ricks, play action. Chris loads and fires down the middle. And the pass broken up. Roger McIntosh, deep drop for the linebacker.
Dangerous throw there. The defenses have taken over in the second half. We've had 10 possessions by both teams. We've had 7 punts, 2 turnovers. Wow. Nope, nobody hangs on.
Nope. Taylor made a great collision there with McIntosh on the intended receiver.
I was saying 10 possessions, 7 punts, 2 turnovers, and only 1 field goal. Only one thing for the offense to hang their hat on in the second half.
2nd and 10. Ricks flares it out and he overshot Jones. He was just running a little flare out in the flat, and Chris took a hit from Santonio Thomas. He's only 1 for 7 this half, and he is paying for every throw he makes.
But both backs release immediately. He gets rid of the ball and doesn't take a blow. He just turns his back.
So a 3rd down and 10. As I mentioned, even though they've only used a few seconds off the clock, you wonder how many times they're going to get it back offensively if you're Florida State.
Well, what they're looking for is the defense to set them up somewhere.
Look out. He floated one out there intended for Leon Washington, incomplete. And John Vilma had that read beautifully, but Chris threw it way over his head anyway. And it's 4th down again.
Hey, this isn't easy work for these quarterbacks.
No.
I mean, these defenses are good.
Vilma had it read beautifully and getting congratulated by his teammates on the sideline. So another 4th down, another Jesse Stein punt coming up. Another opportunity for Roscoe Parrish to do something with it on the other end. Whoa, that was close too.
It was
Stein
Winslow.
gets off a bad punt. And a good roll though. All the way down to the 21-yard line. With 8:38 remaining in the ball game. Kellen Winslow, who's been playing on that punt block team all night, and he got close.
He's been going outside all night, and that time he ducked inside.
But then the decent roll takes it down inside the 21. We want to pass along our condolences to the family of Tom Daniel. Tom, a long-time member of the Orange Bowl committee and vice president, who passed away in an automobile accident a couple of weeks ago. It's a very important part of this Orange Bowl committee, and
he was in line to be president in a couple of years.
Dean Colson and Keith Tribble and all the guys, including my partner Bob, that's on the Orange Bowl committee, will miss him, as will his wife and 2 children. And you saw the button that Swanee was holding down there in memory of Tom.
Yeah, Brad, they gave the buttons out to all the members of the Orange Bowl committee on the sideline, and I talked to a couple of guys, and they said that he was one of the most terrific guys, loved by everybody down here. So just their way of paying their respect to Tom and to his wife Shelley and his 2 college-age boys.
Yeah, he'll be deeply missed.
He was a well-liked guy.
2nd down and a couple. Miami with 8 minutes left in the ballgame. The give is to Jared Payton, and Jared slipped a little bit trying to make his cut. Pat Watkins made sure he wasn't going any further than about 1.5 yards that he got.
Where's Jared now? How many yards does he need?
He's up to about 124. What's he need? About 22 more yards maybe to hit 1,000. 23 to hit 1,000, they tell me. The truck. There it is. That'll be something special for him.
And you know this. They know it on the side. Larry Coker.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, at the end of the season, he knows how many yards that he needed going in, and they know upstairs. I mean, they want to win the ball game first, but if they can win the ball game and get Jared Payton 1,000 yards in his 5th year, they want to do that too.
As you saw, Jared has outrushed Florida State. And he's about 2 chain lengths and a hook short there of picking up the 1st down. So it's 3rd down in just a matter of inches. put it right down at the 31-yard line. So not only the 3rd and inches, it's a huge 3rd down if Florida State could come up with a stop, because they need the ball back if they're to try to win and snap a 4-game losing streak against the Hurricanes. Unless Brock Berlin does it, you assume that Peyton's going to be the man.
Yeah, they got 8 guys. Florida State does. This would be a great time to. He didn't get it.
Berlin is the guy that carries it. He's short of the first down.
He didn't get past the white line, let alone the first down line.
And it's 4th down. And there's a fumble in the middle of it. At least that's what Michael Boulware is saying, but the officials have given no indication of that.
He didn't come out of there with the ball.
It is Florida State ball. Here's the scramble as Berlin, you'd assume his forward progress is stopped there.
Yeah, it was loose, no doubt about it.
And now you see all the Florida State guys say, no way he got it. And then all of a sudden somebody says, no way does he have it. And Florida State takes over on a fumble recovery.
He didn't get the exchange from the center, clearly. The only reason we didn't see it is because he was blocking it with his body. But the ball was loose.
So here's the opportunity Florida State wanted. Not only do they get the stop, they get the ball back right there.
And that's what they wanted. They were waiting to get some field position to attack. Now they're in good field position.
1st and 10 right at the Canes 30. Washington. And he got 4. It's Woolfolk made the stop. Sykes came up from the secondary to help. Xavier Bethia. I think anybody that knows the series between these two teams over the years, how important kicks have been and how they have gone astray for Florida State.
I wonder how these two teams do in close games, partner.
Yeah, we'll check that for you in a second. I know the answer to that, and it's not a trivia question. Only 32 yards in the second half for the Noles. Straight up the middle is Jones. Down to the 23, got about 3.
Guys, that was just a great play by number 6, Antrell Roll, as he was sliding down from that outside position, getting tight to the line. He just blitzed across that line, made contact in the backfield.
Well, you can see games decided by 7 or less against Florida State in the last 20 years. It's been perfect for Miami. At the 23. Down to 6:20.
You got single coverage up here if you want to do that.
They won't. They'll go to the fullback, and he won't get it.
They moved it into the middle of the field.
Xavier Bethia, we asked him about what his dream scenario for this Orange Bowl would be.
Probably a shootout with, you know, them up a touchdown late, and then we kick a couple field goals or whatever in the 3rd quarter, and then, you know, change possessions, and then just my dream ending would probably be like a 53-yarder in the right half.
Well, he's got it in the middle from 39. They've had 3 wide lefts, 3 wide rights and a wide left, and this one is wide right again. Same old story. Different page of the book.
Same Bobby Bowden through all of these wide rights, wide lefts, missed opportunities. He's been on the sideline to see them all. And they can't understand it.
He might get another chance yet, you never know, but Bethia misses a 39-yarder that would have given him the lead. At plenty of distance, that far wide right. They're thinking it's going to go, and then they realize it is not. Boy, how many times have we seen that on the Florida State sideline against Miami?
Got a lot of football to play yet.
Yep, 5.5 minutes left. Jarrett Payton with a delay and a nice run Flags are down, however, as he got out to the 29-yard line.
So Miami dodges a bullet with the fumble by Berlin, the turnover, a missed field goal, and they get the ball back.
I think it's going to be offside against Florida State, so they'll take the play, I would assume. Last year in the regular season ball game, this was Miami and Florida State. 2002 season. And that was the wide left.
That was down in the Orange Bowl, about 15 miles south of here.
He hopes he can get another chance. And as a Hurricane fan who already had a wide right banner ready to go and got to use it. First down at 5 as they took the penalty instead of the run. Now on first down, Peyton trying to cut it outside. The pursuit catches up with him. Kendall Pope shoves him out of bounds. Under 5 minutes, but the clock stops now as Peyton goes out of bounds. And the Florida State fans trying to put one more,
I tell you,
chant together here.
The offenses have not done a thing in the second half. Miami had to kick a field goal on their first possession of the second half, and that is it. There's been 3 turnovers and a ton of fumbles.
We've been down here all week, and we've been preaching that to people that these two defenses were too good to let this thing get out of hand, and that's what's come to pass. And now will Brock Berlin pass. Play action, he does, and that hit somebody en route.
Augustin, I think, deflected it.
Now it's third down and long.
Behind the offense, little play action.
There's Augustin just getting the fingers on it.
And it's a good thing because Winslow was wide open.
Yes, he was. So now here's the third down that the Florida State defense was looking for. And if they can force another kick, their offense will have at least one more crack at it.
Now, something like that is on the quarterback. When you see somebody like that standing there, you got to get it around him. You got to throw it over him quick, throw it around him, look him off.
And timeout taken by Miami. With 4:51 remaining in the ball game. Miami's got the biggest third down of the ball game facing them when we come back. At our Dodge defensive playbook.
Okay, we're going to talk about defense now. Here we go. Number 55 is Moore, the defensive end. Watch as he rushes the quarterback. If he can't get there, watch what he does. He gets his hands up, knocks the ball up in the air. It was going to be a screen pass right here, so he knocks the ball up in the air. If you can't get there, get your hands up, and maybe something good will happen. The ball comes right back down, and you get an interception. Enough defenses don't do that. If you can't rush the passer, at least get your hands up. I hated when I was playing. If all 4 linemen get their hands up, that's 8 hands I got to throw around. It's like a picket fence.
Brock Berlin on third down passing tonight. 5 first downs of their 6 conversions on the evening. This is the biggest one of the ball game so far. 3rd and 7. They'll keep it on the ground. And running through as Gathers, it didn't get there. It'll be a little bit short, it appears. And if it is, Florida State should get their hands on the ball one more time. But they might unpile everybody here and actually bring out the change just to make sure.
Yeah, the punting for Miami has not been stellar tonight, as we mentioned. I would like to know the difference in the punt yardage between Florida State and Miami. I mean, Miami's punting has been awful.
Well, Brian Monroe, his first punt of the night, went 48 yards. His next 3 combined only went 48 yards, which isn't good. And then the last time, Petty, the kicker, punted for them. And they're going to have to punt it again. There's how much they are short. So now which guy do you send out to punt? Looks like it's going to be John Petty again. He kicked the last one. And he'll come out to do the honors here. He could end up being the hero of the ball game. Remember, he hit a 51-yard field goal that gave Miami the lead. And now he's in as a spot duty punter.
So the difference in the punting has almost been 20 yards in favor of Florida State. So every punt that the two teams have made, Florida State has gained 20 yards down the field.
That's a field position battle. You don't want to find yourself.
That's like picking up 2 first downs.
Exactly. So Petty to punt again, and it's a direct snap up the middle, and it's DJ Williams. He's on the way all the way to the 36. Great fake punt.
You talk about a gutsy call.
4th down and about a yard, and the linebacker takes it for 31 yards.
He did this earlier in the season and ran it for a touchdown. Number 17. A direct snap. Look at this. It opens wide up. They get a little trap action up the middle. Early in the year, he ran this for a touchdown. He was a running back linebacker in high school.
Remember, he played fullback in one of the regular season games earlier in his career against Florida State, and he looked like a fullback here, didn't he?
But the call, the guts of Larry Coker, huh?
He had a touchdown in the 2000 season against these guys as a fullback. There he comes up with the biggest play of the ball game. Now it's Jared Payton. Hit by Travis Johnson. And we're down to 4 minutes, and we'll be under that. Wow, what a call. What a call. If that backfires, you're putting a possible touchdown on the plate for Florida State.
But Larry Coker, I mean, he's been there 3 years. This is his 3rd bowl game, and this is the first one he hasn't been in a national championship game. So he says, what the heck? This is just the Orange Bowl. It doesn't mean anything. Let's have some fun with this, and I like it.
And when people said, Coach, you're only going to the Orange Bowl, he said, wait a minute. I came from being a junior high football coach back in Oklahoma to being the head coach of Miami and being in the Orange Bowl. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Here's the give. Payton cuts outside. Inside the 30 to the 29. Coming up tomorrow night, 8 Eastern, Big 12 champion Kansas State riding high after their upset of Oklahoma. Now they got their hands full with the defending champion Ohio State Buckeyes. It's the Tostitos Fiesta Bowl. And then we'll cap everything off for the BCS with maybe the most talked about ball game in a long, long time. Oklahoma and LSU in the Nokia Sugar Bowl for the BCS championship on Sunday night at 8 Eastern. And here in the FedEx Orange Bowl, we're going down to the last 2 minutes and 40 seconds in a 2-point game. And here's another 3rd down, 3rd and 2. Using all that clock. Payton on a 3rd and 2, and he'll only get one of them. Kevin Emanuel is the guy that made the first contact. Jarrett losing his helmet as he's trying to get extra yardage.
Hey, Bob and Brad, just to give the folks at home another number to think about to add significance to playing in a BCS bowl game, with Miami having played in the cycle 4 years, all 4 of the BCS bowl games.
Right.
And this is the 6th year of the BCS, and Florida State has been in 5 BCS games over these last 6 years. That translates to their conferences, to these teams in their conferences. These two teams have contributed more than $110 million to the bank account.
That's a lot of salary. That's pretty good. A 4th down coming up. The last 4th down.
So
the surprise of surprises got them where they are now.
So Coker is saying, do we kick a field goal? I think he's saying, yeah, he made his decision. He was talking it over with the coaches in the press box, Rob Chudzinski, the offensive coordinator. And I think he's sending out the field goal team.
This would give them a 5-point lead, but it would also open the door for Florida State if they could score a touchdown to win the game.
Now, Florida State has been pretty good at blocking punts. B.J. Ward has blocked 7 field goals, and he's the one that's standing behind the line, number 24.
Petty's hit from 44 and 51. This from 45.
There's B.J.
45-yarder. You call that one, partner. No good. And guess who?
Well, he got his 8th field goal block.
B.J. Ward up high and got a hand on it.
Yep.
And so now Florida State doesn't need a touchdown to win. They only need a 3 of their own. They've got 2:18 to play with when we come back.
You're watching ABC's coverage of the FedEx Orange Bowl.
As Bob Greasy said, this guy knows how to block kicks. Before he just blocked his school record 8. B.J. Ward a mile high in the air. Just got a piece of Petty's 45-yard field goal attempt. And Florida State gets the ball back, courtesy of their special teams. As we take a look at our Tostitos game summary, all the points of the last 13 have been Miami's. The time of possession, you can see they've had it huge, but they only lead by 2. And more importantly for Florida State, they have got it back with a chance.
Not very often does a team lose the turnover battle like Miami is losing it now and win the game.
Will Xavier Beitia get another chance? He hopes so. Chris Ricks, little option. Pitching it out to Booker. Booker cuts it up inside across the 30, and a flag flies in at the end of the play. Sean Taylor made the tackle, and I think they're going to call a face mask. And they do. So that'll add to the game.
There's a look.
Personal foul. Face mask against the defense. 15 yards. First down.
Ooh, I don't know.
I didn't see it there.
I didn't either. Sean Taylor was upset with the call.
Take another look.
Different angle. I thought he had him up around the pads. Maybe not. I don't know. I still couldn't see it.
I didn't see that.
Well, it gives Florida State a break. Ricks with flags down, flares it out to Booker. Booker dancing around, and that doesn't get him much, except dropped by Sean Taylor. But again, there was a penalty marker just at the beginning of that play. This one, I think, is going to go against Miami in an offside.
Florida State has not had much offense in the second half. They've run like 25 plays and gained 40 yards.
On the defense, 5 yards, 1st and 5.
Well, that first down they got, so first one since 5 minutes were left in the third quarter, if that tells you how they've struggled offensively this half.
But be that as it may,
doesn't matter.
All that doesn't matter. All that matters is you're on the 45, 50, 48-yard line, and all you need is about 30 more yards to get your field goal kicker a chance to win this game.
3 wideouts for Chris Ricks. The blitz coming from the corner. Play action. He picks the blitz up and goes deep for Stovall. He gets tangled up at the end of the play and a flag down. Kelly Jennings and Chauncey Stovall all tangled up. The Hurricanes saying it's against Florida State. It is. Stovall coming right at you. Jennings just waiting on the ball.
Yeah.
And you saw him kind of pull that
he did.
left shoulder down.
When Florida State, the receiver slips down, watch his right arm. He's going to pull the Miami guy down right there.
On the offense.
Good call.
That's a good call.
Still first down.
Boy, that one hurts Florida State's chances.
Florida State slipped. He pulled the defensive back from Miami down.
Remember, they had this at the 48-yard line of Miami. Now they're back at their own 37.
Bobby's looking up there and says, "Dadgummit," he says, if Oklahoma would have beaten Kansas State, I could have been in the Rose Bowl.
Right now he's thinking about the last minute and 28 seconds. What can they muster on offense? They've got to have some plays now. Chris Ricks in trouble. Chris got a nice block. Flags are down. And he's down. This might be holding on Florida State. Boy, they're going the wrong way. really going the wrong way. It'll be first down and 30 when they get done walking this thing off.
Holding on the offense, 10 yards, still first down.
Still first down is the good news, but as Chris Ricks tried to buy himself some time, you'll see the hold coming up in the middle.
Right here.
Right there.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's Meinrad, I believe, 64.
So way back now at the 27-yard line. Time becoming a factor. 2 timeouts left to work with.
It didn't look good for Florida State against Florida, and they got it done.
See if they can do it again. Ricks down the middle. Completes it across the 40. And out near the 45 to Stovall. Pickup of 18. Chris trying to hurry him up. Down under a minute. They have 2 timeouts left, but you know they need at least 1 to get their field goal unit on when they need to. Second down and 12 now.
Geez, long counts. Just get the ball snapped.
Ricks in trouble, throws. Stovall trying to make the catch there and can't. Kelly Jennings, the guy he got tangled up with before, is the same guy covering.
Wasted 10 seconds getting the ball snapped.
Now it's third down and 12. Obviously, it's 2-down territory. They've got to get to the 43 for a first down. Bobby Bowden looking up at that scoreboard that has only 39 ticks left. And now the chance of defense go up, reverberating around Joe Robbie Stadium. Pro Players Stadium, I beg your pardon. At the 45. Third and 12. Ricks throws, almost intercepted by Sean Taylor. Floated it out there for Robinson, got too much air under it.
Bobby Bowden said this Miami defense is boring. By that he means they do the same thing all the time. They play too deep, the safeties played too deep, and the rest of the defensive backs play a tight man-to-man underneath with a 4-man rush.
Florida State seniors have never beaten the Miami Hurricanes. If they don't get this fourth down, they won't have another chance. It's 4th and 12. Here's your ball game.
Same coverage.
Quick drop. Ricks flips it out. Incomplete, intended for P.K. Sam. The celebration is about to begin for Miami. They're going to beat the Seminoles for the 5th straight time. He almost hauled that in.
That would have been a great catch.
It was just a flick of the wrist by Chris Ricks. Pretty good throw to try to sneak it over the top of everybody. Here's another look. That pass couldn't have been in a better spot. He just couldn't hold it because Roll got his shoulder in there and helped to pop it out.
I think he made the right call.
So now Brock Berlin can take a knee. The final seconds will start to tick away. And Larry Coker's got an 11-win season. And his seniors have never lost to Florida State. That's the flip side. Well, a heck of a ball game. 48th meeting between these two teams. And now it's a 28-20 advantage in that series for the Hurricanes, who've won 5 straight. They win the 70th FedEx Orange Bowl 16-14. A happy coach in his home area with an Orange Bowl win and another victory in the BCS.
I'll tell you what, Larry Coker made a couple of gutsy calls.
None bigger than a fake punt on 4th down in the 4th quarter. Now he and Bobby Bowden, who became, as Swanee talked about 4 hours ago, some pretty good friends this week after not knowing each other that much, but being together for bowl week, but only one team goes home happy, and that is not Florida State. You can tell by Ernie Sims' look right there.
Ernie Sims, a true freshman, will have plenty of opportunities to beat the Canes, but
Boulware and some of those guys won't have any more chances.
He'll have to do it for him.
16-14 is the final score. And we'll be back to the FedEx Orange Bowl right after this. Back in the FedEx Orange Bowl, won by Miami 16-14 to stretch their winning streak to 5 straight over Florida State. That's Ahmed Beitia, who I just saw say to somebody, I just missed it. He had a kick that could have given them the lead, but it was wide to the right. But you talk about kicks, and the one that wasn't a kick is our built Ford tough play of the game. This one we thought was going to be a kick, but watch number 17, DJ Williams, direct snap on a 4th and a little over a yard. A gutsy call by Miami in the 4th quarter. That really helped them go on to ice the ball game. And what a call, and what a play, and what a run by DJ.
Gave them field position. They didn't go ahead and score any more points. It took some time off the clock, and it gave field position in their favor and pushed Florida State way back in their own territory.
Well, the celebration and the post-game ceremony is about to begin. It'll be a happy night for that guy. It already has been. You saw Swanee talk to his mom, Connie, because that's Jared Payton, and he is your 2004 FedEx Orange Bowl most valuable player. He ties a career high 22 carries for Jared, 131 yards. The biggest night of his life in a bowl game, and while he ended up just a little bit short of that magical 1,000-yard mark that we said maybe he'd have an opportunity to get, he's the guy that played so hard and helped Miami win it. Let's go down to Lynn.
Thank you very much, guys. As always, a happy platform for a trophy presentation for the winning team, but I'm going to turn to the president of the Orange Bowl Committee, Dean Colson, who is going to present the Orange Bowl trophy. Dean?
Coach, on behalf of the Orange Bowl Committee, I'm just delighted to present you the 2004 FedEx Orange Bowl Championship Trophy. Great game against a great university. You should be very proud. Congratulations.
Definitely a great football game, and you're exactly right. 2 great teams played. Play the game of football always meant to be played. Sportsmanship and just giving great effort. We appreciate it, all the effort we gave, and also you got to be so complimentary of Florida State.
Coach, I don't want you to try and pick that up. You step right up here, Coach.
Who's the president? We're going to present this to the president.
You want the president? Donna Shalala is here. She's going to stand here. Coach, I want you to stand up here. This was everything you thought this football game was going to be. A battle. Your players said it would be a battle from the beginning to end, but defense would dominate this game.
Well, it really was, and just like both teams said, neither team gave up. They fought it to the end and played hard to the end, and that's a Florida State-Miami game.
Was there anything different about this ball game? Anything of the unexpected?
Well, not really. I'll tell you, it was just the way it should be played. They're an outstanding football team. They're like us. They have some great players, and they played extremely hard.
Coach, I thought for a moment there at the beginning of the ball game, we were going to see something out of your offense we had not seen all year. I thought we were going to see Brock Berlin running more with the football the way he had to scramble in there.
Well, he did. They were putting a lot of pressure on Brock. They did a great job early and really got him moving in the pocket, and he did a good job of scramble, made some key plays for us, and sometimes that's something you need to. We need to make first downs, and make first downs, you win.
Well, I know Jared Payton's going to pick up the MVP trophy, but if they could give it to a coach, they might give it to you for the calls you made in this ball game, for the field goal and for the fake punt. Congratulations, Coach.
Thank you, Lynn. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Brad?
Well, he didn't lose any games in his rookie season. He only lost 1 last year. He only lost 2 this year. And he's the head coach of the FedEx Orange Bowl champions for 2004, the Miami Hurricanes. I want to thank everybody on our crew for a great season. Our game's directed by Steve Bynum and produced by Bruce Clark, and our congratulations to Bruce and his brand new fiancée, Lisa. ABC Sports is online at ESPN.com. Search ABC Sports. Be sure to join us tomorrow night at 8 Eastern, Tostitos Fiesta Bowl, Ohio State and Kansas State. Then Sunday, Heisman Trophy winner Jason White leading Oklahoma against LSU for the national championship in the Nokia Sugar Bowl. That's Sunday night at 8 Eastern right here on ABC Sports. Our final score, once again, Miami wins its 5th straight over Florida State, 16-14, to become the Orange Bowl champions for this year. For my partners, Bob Greasy and Lynn Swan, Brad Nessler saying so long from the FedEx Orange Bowl. This has been a presentation of ABC Sports Championship Television. Happy New Year, everybody. See you next year.